Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody this morning? Well, this afternoon. It's afternoon here. I guess half of you were probably this morning, and the other half of you were probably this afternoon. I'm assuming it's something like that. Thank you, OG. Glitcho, Chester, Tracy, morning. Amy, Joshua, sorry. Ugh, good morning. Good morning. Well, my hair's a mess this morning. We ain't bringing that out today. My hair's a mess this morning. Actually, football time was yesterday. That's why I'm here right now. Hey, CJ, Tamsin, how you guys doing? Carolyn, Krusty, Delaney, hello. Fireman, Brighton Oak, Zoya, how's you doing? Macabre, good morning. Ryan, what's going on, brother? Oh, it feels like I was so like rushed this morning. I've been out for hours. I've been out for hours. It feels like I'm like rushed right now. Yeah, like calm down over here or something. I get some more coffee in me. That's what's going on. I get some more coffee in me. Coffee. Vicky, y'all aren't good. Like I don't know how to. You're not good. Okay. I wish the Chargers could just beat up on under 500 teams all year. I wish we could.
It's insane.
I wish the Chargers were like the Broncos and the Patriots who can just beat up on, on Tennessee and New Orleans and the Commanders without Jaden Daniels. Like they just beat up on these teams with not even starting their quarterback. They don't even beat up on them. They're like, sorry, I wish the Chargers could barely beat half shitty teams and just like cruise on the way to the playoffs. I think the Chargers record against playoff teams is like 6-2 or 7-2 now. Now it is. Now that we lost the Texans. The Broncos record against like above 500 teams is 500. Like they're like 5-5 against teams that are just 500 or above. The rest of their games are just them smacking around trash teams all year. We'll see. Hey, you know where we're both going to be? In the playoffs. Because the Chargers are going to sit all their starters next week, which they should. They're going to sit all their starters against the Broncos in a meaningless game that doesn't matter to us. And we'll see what happens when we go to the playoffs. I am hoping for them going to, I'm hoping the Chargers go back to Jacksonville. That's what I want. The reason I want that is because I can be there in like 5 hours. And so I could be there like 5 hours. So we're gonna look at the ticket prices, but I'm hoping to go. So we'll see. Krusty, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said, hey, are the trumpets going to be scared or silent today? Well, they've been. I think that's. Guys, you can stop saying sorry about the Chargers. We clinched the playoff berth last week. We're good. Okay. we already clinched the playoffs the week before. That loss does not hurt us. at all. So the trumpet's going to be scarce. Well, here's the problem: is most of them are silent. Most of them are silent, but the ones that are still, ones that are still in the, that are still representing them, they're pretty bad. Yeah. Oh my God, Lady Heart, I hope you feel better. Hey, can we get some hearts in the chat for Lady? Said she's on her way to the ER. Yes, Hawks, it was. If he had made those 2 kicks from the most accurate kicker in NFL history, we would have been tied at that drive. But hey, again, I'll take the loss to the Texans right now. We'll get our win back in the playoffs. I'm not worried. Yeah, let's get hearts in there for Lady. Said she's got something in her eye, so she's heading to the ER. Let's wish her all the best of luck, okay? Here, I'll actually put it up there. I also hate going to the ER, and I avoid it at all costs. Yeah. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. But hey, sometimes you do got to go. Is what it is. Hopefully the wait times are low. That's all I can hope for. But like I was saying before, yeah, we they're mostly silent, but the ones that aren't silent, man, they are they're rough. They're rough. MAGA Gizzards. Never heard that one before. That's a different one. Tim, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, hey, Paulie, turning in from Buffalo, New York. Go Bills. Sorry, I know you probably hate the Bills. Keep the great work. I don't hate the Bills. I don't hate the Bills at all. I actually like watching Josh Allen play. I think he's cool. I am a diehard Chargers fan. All right, like I don't own a single thing from any other team. All right, but there's teams I like to watch also. There's teams I think are fun to watch. The Bills being one of them. I actually really like watching the Panthers. Honestly, I think they're a fun team to watch. I love watching Seattle. Oh, that was cool. That's cool. I had never seen that one. Yeah. Yeah, that was wild. I didn't even know I set that as the gift. I know it said a gift goal. I'd never seen it. That's why I had said it. I think it was cool. Yeah, I don't mind watching any of those teams. Yeah, Kayla. My daughter's a Vikings fan now. Crazy. I'll be honest with you. I thought I liked watching the Viking or the Lions, but I really just like watching Ben Johnson offenses. That's what I found out. Cuz I loved watching like the Lions offense last year with Ben Johnson, and now that he's on the Bears, I like watching the Bears offense. That's what I realized. Can we double tap that screen? Let's get this thing let's get this thing moving. I appreciate it. And as you guys are coming in, please hit that like button. We actually are getting these things up to at least 300, 400, 500 likes now, which is well, I think we're like 300, 400. I don't think we ever hit 500 on the YouTube side. So let's see if we can hit that today. Let's see if we can get to 5. Let's hear your clip. My daughter is a Vikings fan, but she is a Justin Jefferson fan. That's what she is. Okay. She is a Justin Jefferson fan. All right. Can I see out of these things now? Oh. Yeah, there you go. Now they're a little clearer. Yeah, I used to not wear the glasses. I've been doing this for years. The glasses are a new thing. The glasses are only about a year old. And but I kind of like wearing them. I don't know. I like wearing them. It gives the facade that I'm smart. That's what it is. If I wear glasses, then people get confused and they think I'm smart. Uh, no, they are prescription, Denzel. It's not a heavy prescription, but it definitely does help when it comes to thank you so much. Sorry, Krusty and Tim. Thank you so much for the super chats. I really appreciate that. But it does help, especially with me staring at screens for hours. That's when it's the most helpful. Yeah, staring at screens for hours, it is definitely that's the best. What does your shirt mean? The Plot in You. The Plot in You is a band. Yeah, The Plot in You is a band. A very good one. Well, at least one I enjoy watching. I actually got to see I got to see half their show. Not even half their show. I got to see like 3 songs of their show at Rockville last year. Thank you, Manic. I appreciate that. I got to see like 3 of their songs, but it was so hot out there in Daytona Beach in May that my shoes melted walking up to their show. Like literally, I had this nice pair of like off-white Vans. I love those things, and my shoes literally melted. The soles just melted directly out of the shoe. So I didn't get to watch all their show. I only got to watch a few songs of their show. Luckily, I already got tickets to see them again this year. So yeah, I get to see them again this year. So yeah. I did not walk barefoot. No, I actually immediately left the show, which was actually crazy because there was no re-entry to the show. But it was so hot they had to do re-entry to allow people to not die. And so I went across the street, got a pair of Sambas from the store. And man, those things were the worst shoes I ever bought. I got blisters almost immediately, and I have not worn them since. They were so bad. I do not like the way those fit. And I love the way Adidas fit too. And those Sambas did not. Whew, man, those things hurt my feet. Yeah, they hurt real good. Thanks, Adam. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'll get to see him again. With Bring Me the Horizon this year. So that's pretty cool. So I'll get to watch, I'll get to see The Plot in You again, and then I'll get to see Bring Me the Horizon, which is also good because I've gotten a little bigger since I bought this shirt, so I'd really like to get another one in a size larger. Yeah, I would like to get a larger one, but because I really, really like the shirt. Denzel, exactly. That's actually true. I didn't actually get any bigger. It's actually the shirt got smaller, along with all of the shirts in my wardrobe, all around the same time. I stayed exactly the same, but those dang shirts keep getting smaller and smaller. You know what I'm saying? It must be the humidity out here in Florida. That's the only thing I can think of. Is it must be the humidity out here that's causing my entire wardrobe to get smaller. Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's the humidity fairies that come in and just shrink all my clothes, right? Yeah, you get the wet from the humidity and then they go in the dryer and they just, like just like that. Yep. I know. It's definitely the dryer. That's why I don't own a scale, right? I've never heard this one, Chester. Apparently, the smaller your shirt gets, the closer the hurricane is. Yeah, apparently that's a thing. Yeah. By that metric, the hurricane is inside of my house. Yeah, by that metric, the hurricane is currently inside of my house. That's how close it is. So I should probably go stock up on some water and pork and beans or something. Thank you so much, Mel. Yeah, it's the only thing that makes sense. It's the only thing that makes sense. All right, let's open up these phone lines. Let's see who we got going to start this thing off today. I got a really nice scale for Christmas. Does someone dislike you? Is that what it is? That sounds like some passive aggressive shit to give your partner. Like, here's a Christmas present. It's a scale. Like, you should you use this. Like, like that sounds like the worst gift ever. What? I'd be so mad if someone got me a scale. Holy shit. Holy shit. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
28.
28. Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah.
Depends on which type of scale. Yeah, if it's a kitchen scale, then I guess it's fine. Okay. If it's a body weight scale, then that is a mess. Like, yeah. Your scale to go along with your Merry Christmas treadmill. Yeah, exactly. You asked for it. Okay, if you asked for it, that doesn't count then. If you asked for it, it doesn't count. So why do you still support Trump?
I have not been able to find any kind of policy changes or recommendations or anything from Democrats that are direct or do anything other than just point out the problems we have. I found the problem with the Biden and the Kamala administration. It's not that I didn't support them. I didn't know what their plans were, what their policies they wanted to put in place. What they were going to do about the groceries and the immigration and stuff. I just had no clear idea on what they wanted to do to the country.
Well, first of all, if you had no idea what they were trying to do with the country, then that just means you weren't paying attention, because they said it very explicitly, both with their words and also in writing, very explicitly on what their plans were for all of these things. Second of all, okay, hold on. That was a two-part answer.
The plan.
That was a two-part answer. Okay. So one,
Right.
if you didn't know what was going on, then that's on you, because I knew what was going on, right? So it wasn't that hard to find, right? And two, okay, none of that describes why you actually support Trump. You can dislike Democratic policies and not support Trump. And my question to you was, why do you still support Trump, right? Because it is very easy to go, oh, I just don't like the Democrats. Okay, you can not like the Democrats and not vote. You can not like the Democrats and support a third party. You can not like the Democrats and still vote for the Democrats. That's totally possible. But I'm asking you why you still support Trump.
Because his policies that he's put in place have affected me individually. The things that I've seen that have been put in on paper, the laws that are going to be taking effect next year with medications are going to greatly affect me,
All right.
as well as a lot of people
Cool.
I know.
So which Trump policy individually affected you?
The Trump RX plan is coming into play next year.
Sorry, already affected you. Sorry, I said that in past tense. Let me make that clear.
Okay, yeah. So already affected me. In my local area, I mean, I've been told that this apparently isn't true according to statistics, which I mean that's fine, but according to what I've experienced in my job market, there was a big decrease in employment, and there was a lot of job openings that opened up that were paying a lot more than they've been paying for the past couple of years since I've been where I'm at.
You're saying employers are paying more. Okay, what did Donald Trump do to make that happen?
Well, as far as what the employer has told me is they're having a hard time finding employment because they aren't able to, like, there's been a big fear going around about the whole immigration issue, so a lot of people aren't like going out and showing up to work.
Gotcha. So what you're saying is the thing that individually helped you is the inhumane treatment of other human beings.
I don't see it as inhumane treatment.
Well, sir, if people are scared to leave their houses and scared to go to work, why do you think they're scared?
Because they're here illegally and they committed a crime.
If they were here illegally before and they were still showing up to work, and they could still wear,
Yeah,
they still could have been deported.
because there was
They
nothing
still
that
could have been
was
deported
get them in
before.
trouble.
Sir, hold on, sir. They were still being deported before, right? That was still happening. ICE still existed prior to Donald Trump coming in, right? And people were still going to work. People were still showing up. People were still doing all of these things. So what's the difference between Trump and Biden? It's one thing, right? The big thing for Trump is that Trump sends people to
Closing the
concentration camps.
Closing the border.
No, it's concentration
The
camps.
amount-
Closing the border,
amount
sir.
Biden
Sir,
deported
closing the
compared to
border.
how many came
Sir,
in
closing the
are-
border.
is way different
Closing
ratio.
the border doesn't affect people already in the United States. Okay, if you lock your door, okay, that has no effect on the people
It does.
already
I
in
live
your
on the
house.
border. I live on the border, so it
Sir,
was a very common thing to
I
have
don't
people
care.
coming in and out.
Sir,
from
I don't
Mexico.
care if you live where your ass cheeks are spread across the border wall. Okay, what I am saying is when you lock your door, it doesn't affect people already in your house. That only stops other people from coming in. All right, when you are scaring people that are already here through inhumane treatment, okay, that is not closing the border.
It's not inhumane treatment. What are they doing to them that's killing them or starving them or like I don't understand what's inhumane. Like you call him a Nazi and like a fascist and stuff like that. But as far as I'm concerned, Nazi had a pretty systematic incineration system for the people they were trying to get rid of.
Later on,
They weren't just sending them back to the other country.
later on. See, that's the thing that people get confused about, and it's the one like negative of of learning history in an incorrect way, right? When it comes to like the death camps and the ovens and all the horrible things that they did through mass extermination of the Jewish people in Nazi Germany, right? That's the end state, right? That's where it ended up down the road. It didn't just start like that, right? It started with gathering people up that they felt were, lesser than them, people from other countries, people from other religions, people that didn't, fit what they considered part of their culture, and then rounding them up and then putting them in, in camps, right? In concentration camps. What we now call concentration camps, but back then it would have looked something like Alligator Alcatraz, right? It looked exactly the same way. Right? That's how it started, right? First of all, I never called Donald Trump a Nazi, right? Is he a fascist? Yes, 100%, right? But that's just because that fascism has a definition, and that's what he falls in under. You know what I'm saying? I'm not calling him a Nazi. Those are two different things. There are fascists that aren't Nazis.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So you're looking at the end state, sir. When Hitler came into power in the 30s and stuff like that, he was doing a lot of the same things that Donald Trump is doing right now, blaming immigrants for all of your problems, saying that the economic issues that are happening within this country are the problem of immigrants, or problem of trans people, right, or problem of people back then it was gay people, right, that they were the issue, they were the problem. People that were of different religions. Donald Trump does things like the Muslim ban, right? Tries to denaturalize Muslim U.S. citizens, right? Tries to kick Muslims out of the country, blaming them for the issues. It's called scapegoating, right? And then the people that don't want to listen to that, well, they round them all up and they put them in concentration camps, right? You have your political enemies. You have your people on the other side of the political aisle that are your enemy, not other people that disagree with you, that they're your enemy. Where Donald Trump has called, the left domestic terrorists, right? Where he's
Okay.
called for the hanging of prominent Democrats just for being Democrats, right? Then he has things like ICE, right, which actually very much resembles the early Gestapo in early Nazi Germany, right? So I'm not talking about once we found out they were camps, Germany. I'm talking about like mid 1930s Germany.
I still disagree with you.
You can disagree with me all you want, sir. It's a one for one. Like, I mean, it's an easy
You
comparison.
want me to go? You want me to? Can I explain why?
Sure.
All right. So, like Hitler's government, if we go back to Nazi Germany, the World War II, it started in 1934. No, it's 1933.
That's not right.
All right. So, anyways, Hitler's government
What was
quickly
World War II started what,
dismantled
1930,
judicial
38,
independence.
39, something like that?
Uh,
It was not 33. It was late. It was 38, 39, something like that.
Well, I was talking about the early stages of Nazi Germany because that's what we were comparing.
But that's not what
to
you said.
the
You said World War
German
II, sir.
administration.
Yeah. You said World War
Sorry?
II. World War II started in 39.
I don't think it started in 39.
It did.
Okay, well, this is before World War II, so this is when he was like Nazi Germany was coming up to power. This is what we were talking about in 1933, 1934, like when Nazi Germany was becoming a thing, right? And
Yeah, so,
like the government and
again, sir,
everything was getting put into place.
You're saying Nazi Germany. That's a way we look at it historically, right? At the time, it was just the Nazi Party, right?
Right. So during that time, the Nazi Party quickly dismantled judicial independence. They created the Reichstag First Degree and Enabling Act, allowing arbitrary arrest, suspension of civil liberties, and dictatorship. Political opponents were imprisoned, silenced, or killed. So far, the Trump administration judiciary has remained independent, ruling against Trump in many cases with travel bans, election lawsuits, etc. Congress has functioned as a check. Investigations into Russia, impeachment, and subpoenas proceeded, and freedom of speech and press has remained intact. No systemic imprisonment or political opponents occurred.
So that was a great reading of somebody else's words, but I don't think you understood what you just read.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
In Nazi Germany, they didn't have freedom of speech. They had an immediate dictatorship.
What happened before they started? What happened, sir?
Already,
sir, no, listen. I'm going to explain to you how you don't know what you just read. Okay, I'm going to explain to you how you don't know what you just read. Okay, before they started jailing and killing their political enemies, what did they do?
That's what they started doing in the very beginning.
No. That's not true. That's not true. Before they did that, what did they do?
What do you think they did?
That's not a think. This is history, sir. We know what they did. They villainized them, right? They called for their deaths. They said they were the enemy. Okay. We're at that stage. We're not at the stage of them jailing and killing yet. We're at the stage before that. Okay, sir, hold on. I'm not finished, sir. Okay. Second of all, you said, "Oh, there was no judiciary." You're right. There was a part where there was no judiciary. What did they do before that? Well, they villainized the judiciary, right? They said they're not right. They called them things like corrupt judges, right? Said that the judiciary was going after them, that they were attacking them, that they couldn't be trusted, right? Then when we have criminal investigations that end in conviction, saying, "Oh, there's no way that that's actually true," right? Just like what happened with Donald Trump when he was convicted of 34 felony counts, and now everybody calls it a witch hunt, pretends like it's not even a real thing, right? Where Donald Trump has a complete disregard for the judiciary, where he blatantly breaks the law like he just did with the deployment of the Chicago National Guard, right? Literally militarizing American cities, right? Which was against the law, and the Supreme Court found and said that was against the law, and they had already said it about multiple cities, and then Donald Trump continues to do it in complete disregard of the judiciary. You're talking about step 3. I'm still on step 1.
Okay, well, in their first few months of coming to power, so again, Trump has not done this within the first 2 months of coming into power.
Right, because we're in a different situation than they were. We have
Right, 'cause
more.
we're not-
We have
we're
more
not-
checks and balances than we have more checks and balances than Nazi Germany had after their destruction in World War One. Right. So you can't come in and within a few months do something like that. Things like this take a lot more time. They need to be a lot. They take a lot more effort. Right. And I'm not even saying Donald Trump will ever accomplish it. Right. But the fact that he's trying to is the problem. Right. The fact that he's even gotten as far as this is the issue. Right. I'm not saying we're going to end up in 1944 Germany. Right. But if we're in 1933 Germany or 1934 Germany, that's already too far gone.
We're not in 1933 or 34 Germany.
We're getting closer.
Okay, so the timelines don't line up. So that's what your argument is because if we continued on, it would turn into that, even though everything goes against what Nazi Germany. Okay.
Sure.
So
Again, I never said the words,
You're
sir.
pretty much using a
Sir.
future hypothetical situation in a way to back up your
Sir.
argument.
No, sir.
using current-
Listen. If you listened the first time, I wouldn't have to be repeating this. Okay. I actually very specifically and unequivocally said that I do not think Donald Trump is a Nazi. I said that. Okay. Nor have I also specifically said I don't think the United States is Nazi Germany. I've also unequivocally said that. Okay. So stop trying to put words in my mouth and pretend like I'm saying that when I am not saying that. Okay.
Well,
What
then
I
why are you comparing him to
listen,
Nazi
sir.
Germany?
Did you go to Sunday school when you were growing up? Did you go to Sunday school when you were growing up?
Sorry, that's completely off topic.
Okay, well, I'll let you know what they taught us in Sunday school when I was a kid. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Okay, God made it that way. Okay, listen a bit, dude. Okay, if you would listen, then you wouldn't be arguing points that, sir. If you were listening, you wouldn't be making points that I'm not making. Okay, or saying my argument is XYZ when I unequivocally said it was not. Okay. All I am saying is that there is comparisons, right? There's comparisons between Nazi Germany and Stalin. There are comparisons between Nazi Germany and Mao, right? We can make comparisons of things. And from that comparison, we can take a step back and look and say, hey, how did other countries that worked in this type of format that worked, with bad leadership, with, a lack of, of belief in the laws of the judiciary, how did those end up, right? And we can see that in like things like the Roman Empire, right? With the fall of a hegemony, right? You can look at that from the British, right? When the British Empire was existing and what took them down. We are literally saying right now, right? All I'm saying right now is this is the way those empires fell. And I don't want to be in that position.
Okay.
That is the point I'm making.
Okay. So literally we did the exact same thing with the Democratic Party, and we were told like we were liars and all this other stuff, and it was just like with you guys it's Nazi Germany. With us it's like social. You guys are going for socialism and communism, and it's like at the end of the day, like those kind of comparisons and claims, we're not in Nazi Germany. We're not even close to a threat of being Nazi Germany. I can see where you're coming from in your argument, but I don't think that is something that should really be brought up in these arguments anymore. The fascism and the Nazi, it doesn't fully align with the definition of what those are.
Yes, sir. And again, I have very unequivocally shown that we are looking like the very early versions of it, not the later versions, right? Not the concentration camps, not the death camps, not anything like that, right? We're nowhere near that, right? What I am saying is a lot of the disregard for the institutions that create our democracy are being disregarded like it was back then, first of all. Second of all, the reason why people tell you that you're wrong when you compare the Democrats to socialists and communists is because that's a joke, right? They're nowhere near socialists and communists. I honestly wish they were a little bit closer to socialists and communists. I would actually have a lot more support for the Democratic Party if they were closer to socialists and communists, but they're nowhere near socialists and communists. And that is just a general misunderstanding of what a socialist or a communist is, right? You would actually look at the Democrats, if you look on the Overton window of the world, right? And where we look at left and right things, right? Within our world, right? The Democrats are actually center right. right? The people on the further left, like me, which are much further towards the progressive level, are much closer to what a socialist is, right? And then you have people that are like democratic socialists, which are still not quite socialist, but a lot closer to it, like Bernie Sanders or Zohran Mamdani, but they're the outliers, right? They're the people that are
like
way
Sanders.
way off of the Democratic Party, but the Democratic Party as a whole is nowhere near socialist or communist.
Right. But what I was trying to I guess what I was trying to get as far as the fall of the empire, seeing signs of the fall of the empire, getting worried about it. Like we were comparing the Roman Empire to things that were happening because of the democratic things, as far as people started to be more fluent with their gender identities and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to get into that whole argument, but I'm just saying like we attributed a lot of the things that were happening in the world because of the Democratic Party to falls of other empires. Like we were doing the same thing. So like both parties can do that, but I don't think that makes that party that thing. Does that make sense?
No, sir. Gender fluidity has existed well before even the Roman Empire existed. So I don't know what you're talking about with that. If you're talking about people that are just allowed to be who they were, that didn't cause the fall of the Roman Empire or the British Empire or anything like that. And trying to relate the two, saying that people, all you're saying is people had freedom in these places, and therefore freedom existed during the fall of these empires. And if that's the case, then the only way to stop it would be to get rid of freedom, and that doesn't make much sense, does it?
Well, I don't think that's what the fall of the empire was freedom. What I was trying to say was that their institutions, their idea of what a nuclear family was eroding, and it was causing a massive amount of division, and it was causing a massive amount of political issues due to the different breakings of the traditions of Rome. So that's what we were trying to compare it to, not that transgender or whatever ended Rome. That's not what I was trying to say.
But here's the funny part about that, right?
The breakdown of the traditions of Rome, and that being part of it, is what caused the fall.
Yeah, but here's the problem with what you're saying, and you're actually saying what I'm saying, but you're just saying it in a way that fits your narrative, right? And that's all it is, right? Yes, there was division. There was division between culture. That does happen, and that happened. But the reason why that division of culture helped to lead long term over to fall of empires, right, is because you had a leader in there who was trying to constrict the expansion of that new culture, right? People that always want to conserve, people that want to go back. You had these traditionalist leaders, right, who said, "Oh no, we don't want all of these new people, these new cultures, these new ideals, these new ideologies. We don't want any of that. We want to return back to X, Y, and Z." And those leaders are what led to the downfall of those empires, right? While people were allowed to express themselves, to be open, to be, democratic, to have different ideologies, to have different thought processes, open thought, open mind, open ideas, right? While people were allowed to have that, the empires were in no threat of falling whatsoever. It wasn't until leadership came in and was against that led to the falls of these empires, right? Just like we're seeing right now. Conservatism has never once helped to progress a nation or an empire into long-term success. It never has. Not once in the history as ever. It has only caused people to be subjugated. It has only caused people to be killed and tortured. It has only caused the downfall of societies. It has never once caused for a hegemony to progress into something better. Never once.
Yeah, I just don't think that this is the fall of an empire.
No one ever does until it starts falling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, by the time the people on the side of the people that are making it fall, right? By the time you all realize it, it'll be too late. Right? But I'll tell you right now, okay? When people start being treated inhumanely, that is a bad sign, okay? When people are being sent to places like CCOT, very well known for torture, sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, right? When people start getting sent to places like that, that's a bad sign. When we have to start building extra prisons for people that aren't like us, that is a really bad sign. When we have complete blatant disregard for things like the Constitution and the law, right, that Donald Trump has, those are bad signs. right? Those are bad signs.
Can I
And
ask a question?
does
This
this,
will help me kind of form my
hold on
opinion.
1 second, sir. All I'm saying is those are bad signs to look out for. And if you want it, and I'm not saying this is the fall of the empire, okay? What I am saying is we can look historically and see that these type of things do cause the fall, if that makes sense. But please go ahead.
Right. So again, this is another thing. I have looked at the websites. This isn't just like a TV thing. From what I've gathered on the ICE websites of the people that are being deported, I have not seen people with only like just illegal citizen being the reason why they were like forcefully detained or taken out. From what I understand, based off of what I've seen, is that it's illegals that have committed pretty bad crimes in the United States.
That is just unequivocally incorrect. Yeah, less than 20% of people that have been detained by ICE or have been detained by ICE whatsoever have any criminal record whatsoever outside of illegal crossing, if that was the case, and less than 4% of those people have any type of violent crime.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's not happening whatsoever. If the case was that ICE was going out and going after violent criminals, dude, ICE is on. I would stand with ICE if that was the case, sir. I am all for, all right, our law enforcement doing their job to take violent criminals off the street, right? And I don't think anybody on the left or the right or the center, I mean, outside of some slightly crazy people, right, would be against that. Right? No, nobody's out there protesting because Donald Trump is getting rid of violent criminals. Okay? It's that he's ripping people out here who have been literally in the process of trying to gain like legal residency or citizenship for 10, 20, 30 years in this country. All right. And they were trying to do things the right way. And because our system is so screwed up, right? Because that waiting in line thing that the right always wants to talk about is at such a standstill, right, in this country, that these people have not been able to gain what they have been seeking for literal decades, right? Children,
right. Well,
and those people are the people that Donald Trump is going after.
I don't view that everybody should just go wait in the line and do everything how it is. I've always believed in security of the borders and widening the gates, as in giving more opportunities, better systems to vet people, more of a fast process to get into the country for the people that are here to be a part of the country. I had no problem with legal immigration and people coming here who have been proven to be not a threat to the country as far as our law. I'm more than happy to have those kinds of people come in here. I'm not against that. I just want to say that real quick.
Okay, well, I just want to be very clear. And what they call that is putting out the welcome mat and locking the door. Okay. That's what they call it. Okay. And I'm not against that, right? I'm actually quite for that. And I think the majority of people on the left and Democrats are for, a similar thing. If you actually look at polling data, most people want high security, but they also want immigration, right? Like that's what polling data shows. Like the majority of people, that's what they want, right? But there's only one party that's advocating for that, and it's the Democrats. There's only one side that's advocating for that, and it's the left.
Well, there's also the independents. So that's why I'm hoping.
And most of the independents. You're right. And most of the independents.
In this next election, we have somebody who's not a fucking extremist. I'm sorry. I'm tired of like one side or the other. It'd be nice to have a little bit of both ideals in one party.
Well, unfortunately, sir, you had a Democrat that was in presidency that was pretty much on the right as far as politically, right? Like literally like a fiscal conservative in the White House, and y'all drove him out and made fun of him for 4 years. So I hear people say that they're like, oh, I just want someone that's more in the middle. Joe Biden was literally as middle of a candidate that can possibly exist. Okay, like literally politically, like as far as his policy, as far as his economic, like agenda, like his support for Israel, all that sort of stuff. I'm just saying, sir, he was as middle as he can get, and y'all literally trashed him and ran that man out of town. So don't tell me you guys want somebody in the middle. Don't tell me that. It's not true.
Hang on, can I explain what was happening during that? Okay, so Biden's administration, when he began, started off really strong, and also looking into his historical speeches and addresses that he had, as far back as like I think the 90s or whatever. He was a lot different than he was when he was in office, and it was a lot more passionate stuff, and some different views too, as far as like what you're saying, like not completely just left, and but when he did get into office, unfortunately, I do have it saved. There were a few things that were like happening as far as like I tried watching his live like presidential addresses to the nations across his presidency, and it was just really hard to watch him do that because like live, no filtered or like gotcha videos, just a live thing. It was really difficult to understand. It seemed like he was really struggling with what he was saying, especially towards the end. So I just that I can see why that happened, and the video of him like with like the compilation of him sniffing girls and stuff. I don't know. I don't think he's he obviously doesn't have the convictions and stuff that other people do. But what I'm saying is there were things that kind of struck a little chord that were pretty like, well, what the fuck, So it was like, it was hard to, and that's what happens every presidency. It seems like once a Democrat gets in, it's all just slander against Democrats. Once a Republican gets in, it's all slander against Republicans. And it's hard for somebody who is just a working person who doesn't study this for a living to make decisions and form opinions as a voter and in their free time.
So let's be very clear. Okay, Biden, was not my favorite president ever, and he's way too old to be the president. Okay, and yeah, sometimes he would talk and he would get a little like mumble jumbled up and all that sort of stuff. I'm not saying that he wasn't, and toward the end of it, I think he was definitely too old to be president, and that is an issue, right? And that would be an issue that I would be very, very interested in hearing from you, right? If you didn't support Trump, who sounds much worse right now. Okay, right. He literally gets on stage right now and sounds like a bumbling idiot, like just a full word salad that goes on for 45 minutes, hour and a half, right? And he just bumbles, right. He says nothing, he lies the whole time, right? Like he says absolutely nothing. So it was, and this is and this is the beginning, and this is the beginning of his presidency, right? This is the beginning. We're still in the first year of his presidency, and he can't handle it. On the second part of that is that whole thing about him sniffing kids is absolutely ridiculous, and literally all of the people that were supposed victims in that have all come out and said that wasn't happening whatsoever. Okay, but besides that, right. Please don't give me that shit while you're literally supporting Donald Trump, who's literally been adjudicated of sexual assault, right, in a court of law under a jury of his peers, who's had over 30 allegations of sexual assault, and who is literally currently redacting the shit and hiding a whole bunch of Epstein files at the expense of children's sex trafficking victims, right? He is literally protecting currently, right, people that perpetrate crimes on children, right? So I don't want to hear about any of this crap about like, oh, they're like, I think he sniffed a kid. Like, dude, give me a fucking break. You're supporting a guy who literally is protecting the world's like largest child sex trafficking ring that has ever existed and was most likely a part of it. And we know he was at least like, in the files on the island, I don't know what the heck he was doing, but he was at least adjacent to this entire thing, right? Right. So please don't give me the whole like Biden thing. The choice wasn't even between Biden and Trump. You had the choice between this sexual predator, right, or Kamala Harris, who the biggest complaint I have about that people have said about her is her laugh is funny. Just give me a break, dude.
Okay. So the whole the thing that was going on as far as that happened is the problem that people were having with a lot of these claims and things that were popping up is that they started happening most of them, not all of them, most of them were happening during his running for presidency. It seemed very politically motivated. A lot of the people the wife that was accused backed out and said that that's not what he had done. Like, and it seems really fishy, right? So they just seems fucked. Like, it just seems none of these, when you look into them, have any like full-blown conviction, and the one that does was a civil decision, which was not a beyond a shadow of doubt or whatever decision. It was just based off of like what they believed. There was no like hard evidence on it. So
Yes,
that's their defenses on it, is they make it, and I'm not saying that you're wrong, I'm saying that they make it look like when you look into these cases, they make it look fucking weird. You know what I mean? So it's like,
let me ask you a question. What was the evidence against Donald Trump in the Jean Carroll case?
the Carroll case.
What was the evidence?
I have a list of them. Let me see. That's what I'm fucking mad about right now. That I was like, as I was watching you, watching you waiting to call, I was looking into all the stuff you were talking about, as well as another guy, and it's completely started, flipping my mind around. So
that's fine, sir. I'm just asking you if you know what the evidence was.
The evidence against Trump for the Caroline, or fucking, I'm sorry, I'm not.
The E. Jean Carroll case.
Yeah. Okay. So the Carroll case, the evidence behind it were claims and testimony from, I believe, a witness, right?
That was one of them. Yes.
Okay, and then there was also, man, there's so much of this. It's really fucking stupid at this point.
What I'm saying, sir, the entire point of me,
defamation.
sir, the entire point of me asking you about the evidence is you're saying that they didn't have evidence, and it doesn't sound like you know what the evidence was.
Well, no, what I'm saying is it was a low burden. So that's what I'm saying, is it's like he was convicted, but he wasn't. So that's why it seems like a complete, that's what's making me think this is kind of like.
Sir, why was he not convicted in a criminal court?
Because it was more likely that it happened, not that
Wrong.
It
was past the statute of limitations. The only reason he didn't go to criminal court is because it was past the statute of limitations. They could not take him to criminal court because of it. That is the only reason that he wasn't taken to criminal court and convicted. Okay? Because there's a statute of limitations in the state of New York for sexual assault, or at least there was back then. Okay? And it was past that time. Okay, there was still plenty of evidence that was put through. The jurors still unanimously said he did it. Okay, and even on top of that, even if all of that wasn't true, okay, even if all of that wasn't true, sir, he still has 30 other accusations. Okay, yeah. He has 30 other. A unanimous jury said he did it. Okay. And the judge in the decision specifically said, right, like this qualifies under New York state law as rape. The judge literally said that. All right. Yeah. But so like, I don't want to hear about this. Like, oh, it wasn't staged, sir. These accusations were from well before his felony case where he is a felon currently, right? The literal felonies on him where it started being investigated in 2015, really. The end of 2015, they were investigating him for these things, right? And you're going to tell me that like it was a political witch hunt? Give me a break, man.
No, it's not what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that's what it was proposed to the public as. I'm not saying that that's what it was. I'm saying that's why a lot of people are having these countering beliefs towards you.
Well, yes, sir. I'm sure it was staged to the public as that because that's what Donald Trump wanted you to say. That's what he told you to believe, right?
Right. And this is what you do for a living, correct? Or do you have?
No, I have a job, sir.
Okay, sorry. I thought this was your. So okay, so I take that back. I can't even make that argument. So most people aren't willing to look into stuff. So I would like to end on, or maybe not end, but just continue on this, but. What would your suggestion, or what's the suggestion of people who want to fix what's going on? How do we fix it? What do we do in order to put the people in power to do the things to get the people out of power that need to be out of power? How do we push forward as American citizens in order to create a democracy that's elected by the public, for the public? And get back to, or maybe not get back, but go towards a state of maybe back to how we had it before. I don't know what it was, but when we could actually have conversations and come to conclusions on our arguments.
Yeah, the answer to that is actually just research. Be an informed voter. Don't listen to something that Donald Trump tells you and just take it as facts, or anybody else for that matter, right? Just because somebody in politics comes up and tells, like, says something, or or mentions something, or somebody says something on a congressional floor, doesn't make it true. Right. And we have tons of independent research agencies. We have tons of independent news agencies, and some like more mainstream, news agencies like, like AP and Reuters and BBC, and people that, that really, really do try to do very independent, unbiased research. And then look at all of that research, look at the studies, look at the data, see how it's collected, and then make a decision based off of that information. Right. Like, don't, and I say this about my live, like on here, right? Like y'all don't know who I am. If I say something it doesn't sound right, go look it up. Go see if I'm lying or not, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, then show me how I'm wrong. And guess what? I'm not above being wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll correct you. Let me know. I'll correct myself, and the next time I make that argument, I know not to make that argument before. That's happened plenty of times, right?
Sure.
But you have to be an informed voter. You have to know what you're voting for. And if you don't understand like what you're voting for, what policies actually help America, what mistakes we've made as a country, right? Or as other countries have made, or what mistakes we're currently making that other countries aren't making. If you don't understand that, then you're willing to fall for any type of bullshit that any type of, slightly, like charismatic person says, right?
Right.
Donald Trump can go up there and say, drill baby drill, that's how we're going to bring oil prices down. And if you aren't educated enough to know that doesn't bring oil prices down, then that might sound good, right? If you're inquisitive, then you can look at something like that and you can go, drill baby drill, that doesn't make any sense. How is that going to work? And you can actually do research, listen to professionals in the field, and listen to what they have to say about it. By the way, they'll tell you that drill baby drill a doesn't really lower your oil prices because it doesn't really have that much of an effect on anything, and B, we were already doing that well before Trump came into office. So just thought I'd let you know that wasn't a real thing. So the less educated you are, the more easily fooled you are. So that's what I'll say. Also, I would advise hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, follow me, and that way you have something to fact check later. Sound good?
Heard.
All right, man. Well, you have a good one. All right.
Bye, bro.
Bye. That was a decent conversation. I wasn't too mad about that. Yo, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on those notifications if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate that. Also, thank you guys so much. We do this at least 6 days a week. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here today. We're gonna open up these phone lines, keep this thing going, keep this thing moving. Kayla, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo. I appreciate that. I said if you had a nickel for every time you said sir, if you guys want to send me a nickel every time I say sir, I think I can retire. I can go buy an island of my own, and I can hang out with Summer and just go fishing every day. No, that was a good conversation. I really did appreciate having that. Yes, I do say sir a lot. Between sir and shush, I say that a lot. Thank you so much, Kayla. Yo, if you guys would like support, I do have super chats, super stickers, live gift goals, all that sort of stuff. And all the pay links in the bio. So if you'd like to support, I really appreciate you. Infamous, thank you so much for the $2. Said, good morning, Paulie. Hail Satan, 666 in the chat. Totally Sock says, how is ICE any different from Nazi Gestapo? Not really much different at all. And Infamous also goes, fascist equals Nazis. Nazis is not always equals fascist. Yeah, very true. That's a good comparison. I appreciate that. Also, Chase, thank you so much. Noel, thank you so much. Ant, thank you so much. Angie, thank you so much. And Angie, again, thank you so much for the 6-7. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Y'all, if you guys are just in my TikTok chat, in case you didn't notice, we kind of got taken down there for a second. We're back again. All right. We have a bunch of crybaby MAGAs that are in the chat right now, that are in the live right now, and they are they're upsetty spaghetti today, so they're trying to get things taken down. All right. So you guys can do a lot for me by helping me by hitting that like button, getting that thing going, right? And helping to support the live gift goal also helps to keep it going, and kind of helps to protect the live against stuff like that. So I really, really appreciate you guys. Also, like, I love the TikTok shop or whatever they say over there, right? All right, let's open up these phone lines. Let's keep this thing going. Yeah, they get their butts hurt. They get their feelings hurt when people start speaking logically. Hello, how are you?
Hey, it's the fast talking guy. Please don't hang up on me. You hung up on me the other day, man.
Yeah, I'm about to hang up on you again.
For Christmas, man, I called and all I was going to do was tell you Merry Christmas, and you said not today and hung up.
Well, Merry Christmas to you, okay?
If I had much in the way of feelings, they would have been hurt, man.
Oh, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, sir. I am just trying to get this thing moving.
Am I
and
that
keep
annoying
it going.
that you couldn't even talk to me for a couple of minutes?
You're not that annoying, sir, but I do try to get new guests in, right? And you are.
Okay. Well, okay. I've got something to say today. It's not just not general talk about the fascism thing.
All right. Well, oh, shoot.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Well, I'll let you get 1 point, but then I am going to move on to the next caller, okay?
Okay, I just got to, when you talk about fascism and what's going on in Germany, I don't know where you learn what you learn from. Have you ever heard of a book called The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich?
I have heard of it. I have not read it, though.
It's by William Shirer. It's considered the definitive story.
Maybe I have read it.
Yeah, you may have. It's a long book. It's about 1,200 pages. It came out in 1964. He was a correspondent that was stationed in Germany during that period. And it pretty much covers from the end of World War I.
No, I have read that. I know what you're talking about.
Good.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Okay, because you were talking about Trump and what he was doing. Hitler in 1934, barely a year had the power. Do you familiar with the Night of the Long Knives?
It sounds familiar.
Okay, Ernst Röhm, who was the head of the SA, the brown shirts, and was also considered one of Hitler's closest friends. About less than a year after taking over, he killed him and about 100 other people. Mm-hmm. A former prime minister or chancellor, one of the former chancellors was killed. Mm-hmm. Goering in the Gestapo, or I don't think we're called the Gestapo yet. Then they killed about 100 people less than you. And they started immediately. The members of parliament and stuff like that, if they didn't agree with them, they started kicking them out. I mean, it's a lot different from what Trump is doing. I understand your point of view, but I just don't see how you can compare the two. Trump will be president for 3 years and he'll be gone.
I'll make this simple, sir. I am not saying that this is Nazi Germany. Okay,
I understand that. I understand you're not saying that.
And for some reason, when people and this is one of the biggest problems that we have, right? Like in this country, is that when I say Donald Trump's a fascist, people say, "Oh my goodness, he's not murdering people in the streets." It's like I didn't say that, right?
I know you didn't say that.
I didn't
if you call him a fascist, it sort of implies we're headed in that direction.
No, it doesn't. Right? It could. Okay, but I'm not. That's not the direct implication. Okay.
Well, I'm misunderstanding you then. Like I said, because
sir, I'm trying to explain.
You wouldn't be able to say what you're saying on the radio on YouTube. I don't think.
Sir. Fascist is palingenetic ultranationalism. Okay, and having the understanding of what palingenetic ultranationalism, okay, which is the traits, okay, that are exhibited by fascist authoritarians. All right, is the same traits that Donald Trump is doing, right? That's what I'm saying, right? Like there's 14 tenets of fascism, right? Like control of the media, right? That's a great example. Right after we've just seen like that 60 Minutes episode.
How does he control the media? He's constantly savaged in the media.
Sir, literally they just had a 60 Minutes episode. All right, that showed that Trump's immigration policies were cool. He literally gets on social media and tells freaking people that he disagrees with and directs his FCC director to have them moved off. That's just one of 14, sir. Scapegoating, calling immigrants the vermin that's poisoning the blood of the United States, right? They're literally scapegoating, saying immigrants are against it, and then rounding up immigrants and putting them in literal, like what they would consider back there concentration camps. Something like Alligator Alcatraz, if it was 1930, would be considered a concentration camp. It would be.
You know what the conditions were in the real the concentration camps in Nazi Germany? There's a big difference.
Sir, the conditions don't change that it is a concentration camp. Okay, conditions in a prison in Bangladesh are a lot different than the conditions of a prison in the United States. They're both prisons.
No argument there. Yeah,
okay, so I'm not saying because we have things that would be considered a concentration camp that we're creating death camps or torture camps or that they're starving people to death. Okay, I'm not saying that. Okay, but you guys jump to the extreme of what I'm saying without recognizing that there are comparisons and that there is a direct link to fascism, right? And that this thing can be. I'm not saying that it is. I'm saying that it can be. a slippery slope, right? It can be that, right? When we start to have a disregard for the Constitution, when we start to have a disregard for the law, when we start to freaking attack the judiciary, when we start to, round people up in inhumane manners and put them in, prisons for committing no crime or sending them to torture prisons, when we start to do these things, it can be a slippery slope, right? It can be. I'm not saying it's there yet. I'm not saying it's moved to that, all right? What I'm saying is that it is steps in that direction that I do not appreciate.
Okay. Well, I understand. Hey, I'm on the phone. Hold on a minute. I'm sorry. Somebody's yelling at me. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. I just don't see you can extrapolate that out. I said Trump will be president for 3 years, and that's it. He's gone. He's not going to be able to become. He's not going to become a dictator. He will not, and he's not going to cling to power. He won't be allowed to. This is not Nazi Germany. This is America in 2025, and I just don't think there's anything you have any worry of long term. He's going to take over the country or do the things you say you think this could lead to.
Nazi Germany wasn't Nazi Germany until it was.
Yes, but it started almost right away. Power. He started right away. Like I said, if you say you read that book, you should know this. He started murdering people. Like I said, a year into office, he killed 100 people.
Do you think the people that lived in Nazi Germany thought they were living in Nazi Germany, or do you think they just thought they were living in their country and the economy got a lot better?
Yeah, you're right. Things started getting better. They didn't care. Of course, people weren't quite. I read Mein Kampf in junior high because I've always been fascinated with how a supposedly liberal, educated Germany could be taken over by a madman like Hitler. But the people were a lot less well informed back then. They didn't have the channels of information we have now. I just don't see this ever becoming what you think it could be.
Well, sir,
I understand if you don't like the guy, you don't agree with his policies and everything like that. It's like these court cases you bring up against him. Let's say the Deutsche Bank thing for one thing.
Hold on. Let's not. I don't want to move on to the court cases. And you're talking about.
I'm sorry.
Real quick. You're talking about one book, sir. And if I remember correctly, I think I read that in grad school, and I'm blanking. I have to go check my book.
Well, I mean, my book stacks. As far as I know, it's always been for a long time. That's
great, sir. But guess what?
Book on his rise.
There's also another dozen, sir. There's also another dozen books I've read. Okay, from both Germans and Jews that were living in Nazi Germany when it started. And those books specifically do say, hey, when these type of things start happening, watch out. This was not an overnight thing. This was a long progression into how we got here. And it started with X, Y, and Z. Okay.
Well,
and so I am pointing out X, Y, and Z. That's all. Okay. The people that were part of it said to look out for these things because that's what led to the rise of Nazi Germany. And guess what? I'm doing that.
Well, how is that any different from Hillary saying that we're calling people to support Trump the irredeemables and the deplorables, and talking about we need re-education? I've heard several leftists say that the people that support Trump, they need to be re-educated. So how is that any different than what the things Trump says?
Well, first of all, I don't believe in re-education. I believe in education. I think that would be a great start.
Well, that's my point.
I think the
context they're talking about. Are we talking about the Russian re-education camps or the Vietnamese or Pol Pot, things like that?
No,
that's what I mean.
I'm talking about the places.
Say things,
I'm talking
and
about.
I don't think Hillary Clinton really meant she wanted to lock us up in a camp and re-educate us or anything like that. It's the language she used, but it's political language. A lot of the stuff they say is ridiculous. You want to tell the truth? I vote for Trump. I obviously like his policies. I don't like him slapping his name on the Kennedy Center. I think it's ridiculous and childish.
That's funny. I'll get back to that. But sir, the fact that the worst education rates in the United States belong to red states shows. Okay.
I live in a red state. I've never been to college. I've got 142 IQ, like I said, and I've self-educated myself. But I'm sorry. I'm getting off track.
Just
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Stand by for a second. What I am saying, sir, is that people with the lowest levels of education, tend to be more conservative, right? People with higher levels of education tend to be more on the left, right?
You're right.
That's just how it is. So when Hillary Clinton said that, the way I took it, sir, please let me finish the sentence. Well, the way I took it was we need to increase the education of people that support Donald Trump. Not that we need to send them to re-education camps, right? I don't agree with any of that stuff that we're talking about, right? But when we're talking about things like the Kennedy Center,
you agree with that.
Sir,
I'm not implying you believe in that.
please just allow me to speak. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Okay. What I'm saying is that we need to educate people better, right? People place, like, if you actually look at countries where they have the most educated people, right? And these are people that are educated from all across the world. They tend to be even more left, right? Left is left, right? Because that education leads to research. Research leads to more educated policies. But the thing with the Kennedy Center, I think, is actually kind of funny, right? Because it represents a few things. One, it's Donald Trump and his cronies, right? Talking so much shit on like the educated and you know, and colleges and all of these people, like the elites, right? They talk so much shit on that, but they so desperately want to be a part of them, right? They so desperately want to be accepted by the people that perform and go to the Kennedy Center, right? Like, and it's so funny how they have to try to force their way in the door because they're not accepted. And then they want to get super, super, super mad, right? When artists the artists that usually perform there don't want to come perform there because Trump's name on it. Why? Because Donald Trump has specifically talked shit on people like that are more liberal, people that are more progressive, people with liberal arts degrees. I'm gonna let you know right now that people that went to school for music that perform at the Kennedy Center, yeah, they have liberal arts degrees, right? That's what they have that Donald Trump completely talks shit on. You don't get to just talk shit and trash on all of these people, right? And then come back and be like, I'm gonna put my name on and you're still gonna perform here. No, they're not, right?
On that. I have no argument with you.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But what I'm saying is, sir, why did he let me ask you a question. Is he legally allowed to put his name on that?
I don't even know.
No.
I haven't looked into it. It's not something, like I said, I don't agree with it, but it's also not something I think is a big issue as far as it affecting my life and how it's going to affect the country.
Well, it is illegal.
Well, then surely someone will go to court and stop it.
Right. But see, that's not how the president should work, right? We should go to court and find out if we can make something legal.
People sue presidents all the time, not just Trump. All the presidents have been sued for things they did people thought were wrong. I'm not a Trump worshiper.
Like what?
But between him and the Democrats, yeah, I'll take him. I don't like a lot of the things he does. I don't even listen to him when he speaks most of the time because sometimes I cringe. Because I think sometimes he's petty, he's childish.
Bro, this guy cringes when he hears Trump.
I think he would be a lot more effective if he didn't do these things. If he would calm down and not say some of the things he says and act the way he says. But he's the president, and he's what we've got right now. You know, I guess, like I said, I'll be definitely calling you November 5th next year. I guess we'll see what happens when the midterms come up. I think do you ever heard of a man named Victor Davis Hanson?
Doesn't sound familiar now.
He's a professor and a fellow at Stanford University at the Hoover Institute. He's a very famous historian and classicist. He's wrote 27 books. You see him a lot on the TV shows. They bring him on over his commentary. Yeah, and he's conservative. I'll be honest, I get most of my analysis of what's going on in the world from him. He has a podcast like 4 days a week, an hour a day. And I wish you would listen to him sometime and see what you think of him. Very educated man. He speaks Greek, speaks Latin. Like I said, but he's a fair man too. He doesn't just take Trump's side blindly on everything. He disagrees with Trump. But if you ever get a chance, I think you should listen to the guy and see what he has to say.
Well, maybe I will sometime. I'm a very busy man with a very tight podcast schedule, so I'll do my best.
So you have a full-time job then, besides what you do doing this, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's what I don't know how this works. I have no idea how you can make a living off of this, doing this thing, being on YouTube, or if you even can do that, unless you have 1 million followers or something.
We're on our way to 1 million. Hit that follow button. Hit that subscribe button. We're nowhere close to there.
I have told my friends to subscribe too, even though we are not the same. Like I said, I don't agree with you.
5% there. Okay, we are 5% there. Okay,
I make a point of listening and talking and reading people who I don't agree with. I have my whole life. Like I said, I've read the Communist Manifesto. I've read Das Kapital. You know, like I said, I'm pretty well read for an uneducated Southern boy.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're well read. But hey, I am going to move on to the next caller. Keep this thing going. But I do appreciate you. I hope you have a good one. All right, brother?
Okay, thank you, man.
All right, man. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Man, that guy talks fast. You know it's bad when I say somebody talks fast, okay? Like I said before, please hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We do this 6 days a week. Really appreciate you. Guys, we're on our way to 1 million. We're on our way to 1 million, okay? We only need another 900 and 50,000 followers. Okay. We're on our way. All right. We're so close. We'll be there any day now. Okay. Let's get to 1 million. Noel, thank you so much for the 2 jewels. I appreciate that. Yeah, everybody is technically on their way to 1 million. If you have 3 followers, you are technically on your way. Okay. You are on your way. Angie, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Chase, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Angie, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said Carr sounds like he belongs on South Park. Yeah, he kind of does. He kind of sounds like maybe like a mix of like a South Park and King of the Hill. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Thank you, Angie. And Tobin, thank you so much for the $5. Said, wait, Trump did not try to stay in power. What do you think January 6th was? Good point. That is a valid point. Loch Ness says I can only sub once. No, get fake subs, okay? We need we need to hire the fake electors to do that. That's a very good point. I guess he is trying to stay in power, Tobin. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. I guess he is trying to stay in power. Go check that out. January 6th, never heard of it. Never heard of it. Yeah, we need a fake elector scheme, but to get me to 1 million followers. Okay? Think we can do that? Is my phone not ringing? I'm seeing phone calls come in, but I'm not hearing a ring now. Well, phone lines are back open. We'll keep this thing going. I'm going to allow another second for somebody to call back in because I saw a bunch of people. You subbed 3 times. 900. This is the kind of energy. Okay. This is the kind of energy I need in this live. All right. This is the kind of energy I need. All right. This is the type of energy I need. All right. Nothing heard from the phone line. That's so weird. There you go. I'll say I had like 20 phone calls in the last 3 minutes and now it's not ringing. That's weird. Hello. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. How old are you?
I am 24.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I used to, but not anymore, and I did vote for him, sadly.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that, man. But if you don't support him anymore, I don't think we have much to talk about.
I just wanted to get your perspective on the Epstein files, how he fired the guys that knew how to hide stuff. He hired his own staff, and they blacked it out. You can just copy and paste them, and you can see everything in the files. In a certain section, it mentions him impregnating a 13-year-old and then dropping the baby off in Lake Michigan.
I don't know anything about that, so I don't really want to talk about it.
Could you talk about it sometime in the future? Because
sure, if we can research it and find out something like that is accurate, then yeah, that's fine. I don't know anything about that. And I haven't heard anything like that. So
yeah, you can just copy and paste the redacted files, and it shows everything.
Yeah, I would need some evidence on that one that exists, but I don't believe that that's true. So, well, at least I haven't seen it yet. But if it is there, bad, but I haven't seen it. If people are saying it's in there, I don't know. I haven't seen it, guys. I'm sorry. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. But like, if I don't know anything about it, then I don't know anything about it, and I don't talk about it. So
yeah, you're fine. This when you get the time, just look into it, please.
Will do. Gladly.
Thank you, and have a great day.
All right, sounds good.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm sure lots of people have talked about it, okay? I'm just until I can confirm it, then I don't talk about it. I talk about things that I can confirm. Hello, how are you?
What's good? How you doing?
I'm great. How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 29.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I voted for Donald J. Trump, man. Yeah, I didn't want any tampons in my bathroom.
Oh,
so what you think about?
Can I ask you a question?
What you think about tampon Tim, man?
Bro, you can confirm it. Hey, first of all, let me just say something real quick. Same. No one can confirm something in 10 seconds. Okay? if you are confirming things in 10 seconds, you are not doing your research. Just thought I'd let you guys know that.
I
Okay.
agree with you with that. That's the
Okay.
only thing I agree
Anyway,
with.
so why are you terrified of tampons?
No, I'm not. It's
Yes, you
just
are.
I don't need. You need it? Do we need it? I mean, you're a man, right?
There's toilet paper in the bathroom. I don't always need that.
So well, the tampons are gonna
There's
build
there's
up?
condoms in the bathroom. I don't need those either.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, you don't wear condoms, man.
No.
You know, it's a woman.
You think condoms are only for women? Is that how you think that works?
Yeah. You can't get a men pregnant. Why would you need a condom for a man?
Did you know there's other reasons to wear a condom besides getting someone pregnant?
What? For decoration? For decor? What you gonna do? You gonna put it on your head, my boy?
No, it's actually to protect from STIs and STDs. Yeah.
Yeah. Sexual contact, sexual contact, bro.
Yeah,
But-
you know that those diseases exist regardless of who you're having sex with, right?
Yeah. On the lips. But check this out. You voted for Kamala, right?
Sir, but what I'm trying to understand is if I don't need condoms and they're in the bathroom, should I be angry about that?
No, I mean you could put some in your pocket, use it later on at the.
You could do the same with tampons.
Nah. I'm good, bro. I don't go that way. Fuck,
Go
what
which
I'm gonna
way?
do? Slap my penis with it? Come on, man. Hey, yo, listen. You voted for Harris, right?
Sounds like you probably need an STD test, is what it sounds like.
My boy. No. My boy, you voted for Harris, right? And Tim Walz. That's who you voted for, right?
Yeah.
So, are you watching the videos on YouTube that recently posted by
Nope.
Nick Shirley? By Nick Shirley?
Nope.
He's going to all the Somalian daycares over there in Minnesota, and there's no kids. He's been to like 12 Somalian daycares. They're attacking them.
You're watching a guy go through Minnesota
Live.
trying to find children?
Live daycares. It's fraudulent. That's where your taxpayer money going.
You're going to Minnesota to try to watch a guy try to find children?
They're investigating, man. Come on.
That sounds like he's trying to find
money
children.
So if they're money laundering through daycare centers, and
Man,
there's no
you sure do
children in a
watch different
daycare
people
center-
than I watch.
No, it's live, man. You could go
Sir,
watch
I
it
don't
yourself.
want to watch a grown man try to go find children.
Yeah, 'cause-
That's weird.
No. What's weird is they're funneling money through using children.
They're
what's
funneling
weird.
money using children?
Yo,
How do you
if they're
fundle
stealing
something?
money, where's the children at? What did they do with the children? That's what I want to know. Where's the
They're
children? You guys
funneling money using children. That's interesting.
well, you guys stealing children over there? Where's the children at? Why would you have a daycare center and there's no children attending
Because
the
it's
daycare?
Saturday?
No.
Because the
was
daycare center is
2000
closed?
Throughout the week, brother. Throughout the week, he's been doing it.
Sir,
Where are the children?
I don't know why there's daycare centers with no children. I also truly don't care because it's not my money.
Oh, it's not? So
Do you
now
live
you don't
in Minnesota?
care. Huh? Yeah. I
You-
live in Minnesota, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What part of
Would you like
Minnesota
me
do
to
you
go-
live in?
I could call back.
What part
and,
of Minnesota
go
do
to
you
a
live
daycare
in?
center. Minneapolis.
You live in Minneapolis? What's the zip code there?
Yeah. The city.
What's the zip code there?
What you mean? What's the zip code?
What is the zip code
Why would
there?
Why would I tell you the zip code?
Okay,
You
what's
know what
the
zip
area
is.
code there?
You don't. Come on, man. Why are you questioning me?
I'm questioning you because I don't believe for a fucking second you live in Minnesota.
And I do believe you use tampons, bro.
Okay.
Because why would you vote for tampons being in the men's bathroom? That's weird.
Yeah,
That's
you don't
weird,
live
bro.
there at all, man. That was so easy to figure it out.
Do you stuff tampons in your anal cavity?
Why are you so interested in my anal cavity?
Because, bro, it seems like you do.
It sounds
Where-
like
where
you're
would you stuff
very,
it?
very interested with what I do
But
with
that's
my
what you
butt.
voted
Are you
for.
hitting on me, sir?
No, bro, that's what you
Sir,
voted
I have
for.
a partner. Okay, I really, really appreciate it. But
A male?
you sound
a male partner.
you sound very ugly.
No,
Okay,
a man-
and I
I know
only
you have a male
and I
partner.
only date pretty people.
You date men. I know you date men because look at the
Well,
pink
sir,
hat in
I
the
do
back.
not date men, but if I did, they would also be pretty people. Yeah, because I
Bro,
date pretty people.
I know for a fact you date men. What are you, a power bottom?
Man, this dude is super sexually attracted to me.
Yeah, I know
This
you're
is
a power
very
bottom,
strange.
my boy. You a power bottom, huh?
How old did you say you were again?
I'm 29, man. But I know
Yeah.
you're a power
No,
bottom. man.
no.
That's crazy.
I just wondered, like, at what point in your life you were like, man, I can't wait to go talk to other grown men about what they put up their butt and what kind of sexual positions
How
I'd
old
like
are
to
you?
have them in.
How old are you, Power Bottom?
I'm 39 years old. Yeah, and I'm just
39,
saying.
wow.
At what point in your life did you switch over to having these
You're
very
39
sir?
and
I'm
you're still
talking.
hanging up hats.
Shh.
That's
It's okay, little
crazy.
guy. It's okay, little guy. At what point in your life did you literally get to this point where you're like, man, I just want to know all the sexual interests of other men?
You voted for that, man. You showed it
You're the
right
one
there.
talking about
Your
it right
sexual
now,
interest.
sir, on this live.
That's embarrassing.
Like, sir,
bro.
I didn't know you could get this deep into a closet.
Shit, you have a walk-in closet, obviously. That's what you have.
Sir, if I have a walk-in closet, you're in Narnia.
Yeah. You have a walk-in closet, bro. You in there.
All right. So I think you need a good therapist.
That's crazy,
and
man.
probably some medication.
I think
Okay.
you do.
But
You're on here every day.
I have a very good therapist. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You ain't here.
Okay. I have a very good therapist, actually. So, yeah, she's awesome. All right. But I truly did not know that the closet went that deep. You're literally behind the clothes going off into another land. All right. But, anyways, and since I actually want to have political conversations and
love
not
Trump,
listen
right?
to your
You
fantasies,
love
okay? Your sexual
Keep Trump's
fantasies.
dick in your mouth.
Yeah,
You
here's some
love
more
Trump, man.
sexual
Yeah.
like stuff from this guy. All right. Well, that went from afraid of tampons to afraid of hats. It is funny though how if you talk to any like true Trump supporter for longer than like 5 minutes, they will start talking about some type of male genitalia. Only the men though. If you talk to a male Trump supporter for longer than 5 minutes, they will start talking about male genitalia. It is very true. Yo, please hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Radstorm, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said tampons are great for nosebleeds and wounds. Well, Radstorm, I don't understand. If I have a bullet wound and I need to soak up blood, how do I put the tampon in there without becoming gay? MAGA logic. MAGA logic. Sorry. Yo, that's like Support the Live. I do have super chats open, super stickers, pay links in the bio, live gift goal. If you like Support the Live, it really does help to keep lives like this going. Helps me to keep being able to do this every day. So I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. And I get to throw them up on the screen and have conversations about them. So if you like support, I really, really appreciate that. But more importantly, please hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. We do this 6 days a week, so I really, really appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for being here. All right. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how about them Chargers?
You mean being all clinched in the playoffs?
Yeah, what's up? 20-16. That's all I got to tell you, bro.
Yeah, we're 2 missed kicks away. That's okay. The Texans were playing to get into the playoffs. We were already there. So
yeah, but you guys are just good enough to like make the playoffs and not go anywhere and never ever be like good enough to win.
Who's
That's
your
the
team?
problem with you guys. Who's my team? I'd rather not say.
Who's your team?
Or I'd rather not talk about it.
Yo, well, you're talking shit. Go ahead. Who's your team?
How about the Jets?
Exactly. How about you do a whole big bag of shh?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I can't talk. That's exactly why the only thing I can do is
that takes
shit
a
about
lot
other
of
teams.
gall from a Jets fan to be talking shit about anybody's fucking team, bro. That
That's
takes
exactly
a lot of
why,
gall.
That's the only thing I can do.
From a Jets fan to be talking about anybody's fucking team, bro.
Exactly. That's the only thing I could do. All right, as a suffering Jet fan for 15 years of not making the playoffs, the only thing I can do is talk about shit about other teams. That's what I'm
Get
gonna do.
out of here. Go get a quarterback before you talk to me, all right? I'll talk.
All right, take care. Have a good one.
All right, phone lines are back open. Jesus Christ. How you going to be a Jets fan talking shit? How you going to be a Jets fan talking shit on somebody else, bro? Come on, man. Hello? You all right there? All right. I think this guy might have had an actual heart attack on my live. I'm not sure. Hello?
A big dog. I don't know anything about you or your channel, but I scrolled past and I saw the Trump supporters call in, and you got a 720 number. Where you at in Denver?
I'm not in Denver.
Oh, you just got a 720 number?
Yep.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. Are you a Trump supporter?
How's this work? I am. Yeah. Proud 3-time Trump voter.
Awesome. And how old are you?
33. Sorry if you hear a little kiddo in the background. It's
That's
my
fine.
daughter.
Oh, hopefully. Anyways, so why do you still support Trump?
Hold on, honey. Hold on. Let me go. I'd support Trump because the alternative is absolutely absurd. I mean, the last several elections, the choice was a geriatric old man or a spot filling, DEI case. So the Democratic Party has not done themselves any favor at putting somebody that is able to combat Trump or to even take votes away from him.
He literally lost the election.
He didn't. Not the most recent one.
No, but you're saying the Democratic Party hasn't put anybody in that can combat Trump. He literally lost to Biden. What are you talking about?
Well, but Biden was such a horrific nightmare that
And he still beat Trump.
Trump that won in a landslide, even though that he wasn't the candidate. The constituency
He won by
was what we were
1.5%.
voting against.
He won by
What was
1.5%.
that?
He won by 1.5% of the popular vote.
Of the most recent election.
Yeah.
Regardless, it doesn't matter. He still
That's not a
won. I mean,
landslide.
I'm not going to sit here. Okay, let's not talk about the popular vote or the electoral college. I mean, when we talk about electoral college, it's a landslide. Popular vote's different. But if you want to look at a landslide for a Republican candidate, Republican candidate hasn't won the popular vote since George W. Bush, which is contested, I know. But that should say something about where America's
Yeah, I mean, even if you look at the even if you look at the electoral college, Obama won by a larger margin in the electoral college, and so did Bill Clinton.
Okay, well, we're getting off topic here.
We're not getting out. You're the one who brought up the topic of it being a landslide, sir. You're the one who brought up it being a topic of a landslide. I didn't bring it up.
Okay. All right. Well, then I will concede that maybe it's not a landslide. I'm not, but that's not the important point of what I'm trying to make, which is why I want to move past it. Landslide or not, the voting public, spoke and they made the choice. Hold on, honey. Hold on. Autumn. Hold on. I only have a few more minutes here. The point is, Kamala Harris was a disaster. Kamala Harris was not qualified to be a presidential candidate because she lost the Democratic nomination, 4 years earlier. She was always put in that position because she's a black woman. And if you can't admit that, then we're having different conversations here.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
No,
I'm not holding on.
Time here.
Well, no, neither do I. My time is also very valuable, and this is not for you to come up here and just spout 10 minutes of whatever bullshit you want without question.
It's not about bullshit.
Okay, then let me respond.
I'm trying to be respectful to you.
I am also trying to be respectful. I am also trying to be respectful to you.
You asked me why
I am not going to let you just sit there, sir. I am not going to sit, sir. All right, sir.
Hold on.
This is a space for us to have conversation, not for you to grandstand.
I'm not trying to grandstand.
Well, you are grandstanding. I'm informing you that you're
not.
grandstanding. I'm informing you that you are. Okay. If you are not going to let me talk because you have someplace to be, then I suggest you go get there.
Okay, go ahead. Because
I appreciate that.
I think we're on the wrong base here. I want to hear your point because I think that valid conversation between two opposing opinions is important, and that's what I'm trying to provide, not grandstand. So please let me.
So you believe that Kamala Harris was unqualified because she had previously not been nominated for her party's candidacy, correct?
I think that Kamala Harris was not the caliber of candidate that not the top,
not what I asked you, sir. Did you or did you not just say she is unqualified because 4 years previously she had not gotten her party's nomination? Is that what you said or not?
That is what I said.
Okay, perfect. So if Donald Trump had previously lost his presidential candidacy for his primary, then he also would not be qualified to be president.
Negative. No. So the reason why the two do not relate is because Donald Trump did win the primary at a different time. Every single time he's been the Republican nominee, he's run and won the Republican primary. Run at the primary and achieved the Republican nomination. Now,
except for in
Kamala
2000,
Harris did do that this time around.
Except for in 2000,
do that this time around.
Except for in 2000.
I'm sorry. What was that?
Except for in 2000. The first time he ran for presidency, where he couldn't get a major party nomination, so he dropped out and actually had to run for presidency on a third party candidacy because nobody wanted him.
I mean, would you, if Bernie Sanders ran for the presidency again, would you vote for him and he'd be qualified
No,
and he would win?
I don't think he's too old.
Okay, well, 10 years ago, Bernie. My point is, just because somebody lost doesn't make them unqualified in the future. The reason why Kamala
But
is not
you just said
qualified
she
is
was because of that.
because Biden. But you're choosing to not look at the picture. As
I'm
a whole as what
choosing
it was.
your words, sir.
Okay, all right.
Just
All right,
30
so
seconds
here's-
ago,
so
you
let me
told me,
clarify.
sir, 30
Let me
seconds ago,
clarify,
you told me
please.
she wasn't qualified
You're absolutely right.
because she didn't win her party's nomination. And now you are unequivocally saying that is not
I
the
know.
reason she was unqualified. So if you have a reason
let me
why she was
clarify.
unqualified, can
Let
we
me
please
clarify.
just get to that part?
Absolutely.
Perfect, thank you.
Let me clarify. So the reason why Kamala Harris was not qualified and why she lost is because the American public, even the majority of Democrats, wouldn't have preferred her as their candidate, and Gavin Newsom would have been a much better candidate to replace Joe Biden, and he probably would have won. But Gavin didn't want to waste his shot on it. So the reason why the two don't relate, and the reason why Kamala is not qualified, is because she was a spot filler. You know, it was very apparent when Biden did that debate that his mental acuity was not where it needs to be, and they panicked and they had to put somebody in there. And when I'm talking to some YouTube guy, this is like a live thing. I just saw him when I scrolled past. I'm gonna get off the phone with him in a sec. When I don't even remember what I was saying.
Okay, well, cool.
This
Then
has
let me
gone way
respond
off
to
the
it.
rails,
Then
my
that's
man.
fine. No, we're not off the rails, sir. I'm right on the rails with you. You're the one who's flip-flopped back and forth a couple times. I'm just responding to what you're saying. So first of all, let's be very clear. Biden's mental acuity, I'm not sure how great it was. Freaking, he was way too old to be president. But if you want to talk about that, then Donald Trump's mental... Sir, I am literally just... I literally sat here and just let you fucking talk, and I say 4 words, and you have to cut me off. Why is that? God, what a petulant child, dude. Anyways, what I was trying to say is, yeah, Biden was very failing. But if you want to look at Donald Trump right now, his mental acuity has completely fallen. That's why he's so proud of freaking barely passing his dementia tests, or they're very hard and has to go get MRIs. But you don't want to talk about that, do you, sweetheart? This guy didn't want to talk about any of this stuff. He didn't want to talk about how Kamala Harris was probably one of the most qualified presidential candidates that ever existed. He didn't want to talk about any of that. But he did very much mention in there that the reason why she wasn't qualified was because she's a black woman. Did you hear him try to get past that and never wanted me to address it? Because he did. He said it was because she was a black woman. He just didn't want me to address that. Children. Hello, how are you?
Hello, do I have the right phone number?
I don't know, do you?
You on stream?
I am.
Ah, cool. Yeah, no, I've been trying to call. So, I mean, no offense. I want to just touch up on that one topic. At least Trump has the balls to at least say he's fucked up in the head with some form of dementia. Biden didn't say anything until the very end.
Hold on. Stand by. When did Donald Trump say he was fucked up in the head and had dementia?
Well, he didn't say it, but the public, you know, at least we can see that he went and got an MRI. Do you understand what I'm saying? We didn't.
Yeah,
see
because
Biden had
presidential
anything
records
until
like that are
after his
positive.
presidency.
Because
Yeah, I
record.
know, but what? You go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because why is that a good thing, sir?
Well,
Go
what
ahead.
I'm saying is at least we know prior to him being out of office that if there is something wrong, that at least we might have the idea that he has dementia now, while before they all wanted to hide Biden's mental decline up until the very end when they kicked him out.
Sir, where
and
is
made
any
Kamala
singular
primary.
report from anybody that freaking Joe Biden has dementia?
Not dementia, but he had cancer, right? He had some form of cancer or something.
So what?
But that my point is, at least we know Trump may be in the decline, while Biden, it was completely villainized, if you even so much as questioned if he was cognitively
No,
there.
sir. You know, cancer. I think it's like what does he have? Like colon cancer?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
you know that doesn't affect your mental acuity, right?
No, but it can affect your physical acuity. Make it so you
Yeah,
can't
with some
walk
of our best
upstairs or
presidents.
do
Yeah,
things
some of our,
properly.
some of our best presidents have been in fucking wheelchairs, dude. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I know FDR, and they hid that for a very long time, right?
Oh yeah, a lot
They
easier to
hid
hide
that.
stuff back then.
Huh?
A lot easier to hide stuff like that back then. And
Yeah, I know,
actually,
I'm
to be
aware. It
completely
was
honest with
crazy.
you, kind of, and this is going to be, people are not going to like this stance of them, but honestly, hiding that your president is sick is actually a really good thing for America. But
Yes, I agree because it allows foreign leaders to not
prostate.
understand that you're under the weather. Yeah, I completely understand that.
Yeah, so when it was done with FDR, that's fine. And I truly don't believe that they were hiding Biden's cancer whatsoever. He ended up with a diagnosis with a fast accelerating stage 4 cancer, right? And there's
You didn't
no,
know about that
and
until after.
yeah, it doesn't seem like the doctors did either. Because he had screenings for that while he was in the presidency, and none of those screenings even show that he was actually tested for those types of cancer, and they wasn't showing any positives.
But how can you hide that? Or even, how do you not understand that your president has something wrong with him?
He didn't, is what I'm saying.
But then how come the public now says that he did?
Because he does now.
So you're saying he didn't have anything wrong with
sir,
him during his
if I have cancer right now, does that mean I had cancer 6 months ago?
You mean you were developing cancer?
No, it doesn't.
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
There's no way you go from having cancer to not having.
Yes, there
has
is.
To be some form of development.
Yes, there
really?
is.
So you can just wake up.
Yes. There is very
I
very
feel like
fast.
there will be-
Sir, there are very very fast versions of fucking cancer that can develop insanely fast.
Yeah, I'm no medical doctor. I'm willing to learn, so I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm just saying I feel like there would be some form of underlying cause before, like you would know. Like I don't know. I just feel like there would be something.
Nope, sir.
You have underlying cancer.
Nope, sir. People just have cancer, and then before they didn't, and then now they do. That's why it kills so many people. Because you can get checked for cancer right now, and then go back in a month from now and have cancer.
All right. Well, I hear you there. Understandable.
Yeah. So where Biden was definitely too old to be president, and again, I have no problem admitting that whatsoever. He was definitely too old, and probably never should have voted in a fucking 80-year-old to begin with, right? Or however old he was when he was elected in. Like, sir, making it seem like somehow his cancer is somehow some reason why he wasn't like doing something right. Or that's just ridiculous, man. Like the dude did.
I'm not saying
the dude did so. The dude
anything like that.
the dude would just show signs of aging, right? Of rapid aging, to be completely honest with you. And that doesn't really surprise me because the presidency rapidly ages you, especially if you actually care. I mean, look at Obama before he took presidency.
Look at
And then
Obama
after, in 8 years, he gained 30 fucking years of life, right? And so it doesn't surprise me that somebody in their late 70s who was the president probably aged pretty quickly, right? But of course, that means, that requires actually, caring about the job or actually wanting to do it. That's why Trump will probably, Trump will probably get younger actually over the course of his presidency. I don't know.
We'll see where technology gets to make that happen. But no, I definitely do agree with you in a lot of things. I'm not saying, and I definitely don't have the knowledge base to be talking on a lot of this stuff. But I mean, as just a random, person who has the somewhat of an understanding of the political climate I can kind of pick and choose what's right and wrong. And I don't know. I feel like with the way that we are right now, nobody's fucking right, man. Shit's just all fucked up on both sides.
No, it's not.
Fucked up. I think so, bro. I mean,
but it's not.
It's
truly not.
I want to hear a very crazy viewpoint right now.
Sure.
If I may. All right. So I'm a Jew, but I am not an Orthodox. I don't really follow through. I did vote for Donald Trump last, the current, but I didn't vote for him the first time. But my stand, I don't go for following out Israel. Now, if it was up to me, I say let anybody do what they want to do over there, only for the pure purpose, just to see if Israel does fall. I would like that to disprove most of religion. Now, that's just me, because if Israel falls, that's supposed to be the start of the ending of the world, and I don't think that'll happen. So if it was up to me, let Israel fall.
Well, that's I mean, I guess that is a point.
It is a point. And coming from a Jew, just let that sink in. And
I'd rather not, to be honest with you.
I'm just saying, just let it make sense, though. But hey, I'll let you go. I'll let you have some more interesting people on. You have a good rest of your show, man.
All right. You also, I think.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Okay. Anyways, MT, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really, really appreciate it. It's a great day. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Ant-Man, thank you so much for the jewels. Lovely Goddess, thank you so much for the $5. Said, do they not understand that it takes time, blood work, MRI, CAT scan, etc., to determine a diagnosis for anything disease, cancer? Yeah, I don't. Bright anything. I that was confusing. That was confusing. That was very confusing. I don't. Do people not understand how cancer works? I'm trying to reset my brain after that one. It's not. It's getting there. I think I just need to move on to a next caller and keep this going. Thank you so much, lovely Goddess. I appreciate that. And Shadow says, what in the medical misinformation? Yeah, I don't know. They're just weird stuff. Just weird stuff. Thank you, Shadow. Also, I saw this comment from Gorilla about that previous call. It's like, oh, I'm watching that person like go to daycare. It's like, where are all the kids at? It's literally winter break. It's literally winter break. Like, that's where the kids are at. They're at home. Y'all hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, turn on those notifications, all those things. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for the support. Really, really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm great.
Nice. So yeah, I'm just calling because I think Trump's the best president in the world. And yeah, he's just the best president in the world. And yeah.
Well, he technically is the best U.S. president in the world currently. Yeah.
Yep, he is. So thank you for agreeing with me. So, yeah. So yeah, I think he's the best president ever. Yeah. So try to change my mind.
I'm not trying to change your mind.
You're not?
No.
Well, why not?
Why would I try to change your mind?
So, isn't that what the whole point of the debate is?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Then what's the point of the debate then?
To find out why you support Trump.
And I just told you, he's the best president in the world.
All right. Well, what makes him the best president in the world?
He's just the best president in the world.
Yeah. What? Why? Why? Let's see if we can walk our brain all the way to like to a little further thought in here. How is he the best president?
I'm gonna get the phone to my brother. My brother's a better expert on this than me. I'm not really have to give him an expert, but
well,
yeah,
you put the bar on the ground. So let's see what he's got.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh, you're an infant.
Oh, excuse me. Why are you calling?
All right. You're a full infant. His brother might be 11, maybe at max. Hello? Hold on, Dave. Jeez. Calm down, Dave. Hello? All right. Obviously did not mean to be there. We will see. All right. We'll see if we get anybody else in here. And then I'll bring up Dave for a little bit. Hello, how are you? Hello? All right. All right, Dave, come on for a second. Just for a second. I guess not. I will take one more, and then we'll bring up Dave for a second. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Yo, what's up?
I don't know. You called here, man. Are you gonna ask me what's up, dude? You came here. You came on my live. Dave, if you can get in, you can call. Hello?
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's going on? How old are you?
I'm 41.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I went to OU too. Boomer Sooner.
Boomer Sooner.
No, but why don't the Jewish people want the Lord to come back? Isn't that?
Did you? Yeah, you're breaking up real bad, man.
All right. Sorry.
Oh. Hi, Dave.
Yo,
Dave. I'm not gonna lie to you. Here's. I brought you up for a reason.
all right.
All right. I'm gonna let you give a train fact because I have to step out for a second. So I'm gonna take my headphones off and let you give the people a train fact. Sound good?
All right.
Hey everybody, this is Dave the Train Guy. If you're new to my channel, Dave the Train Guy is our local train expert. I just saw a video.
Hello there.
I actually saw a video the other day that reminded me of you. I had to send it to Ari. It was hilarious. I'll see if I can throw it in the chat later. But yeah, I saw a super funny video that reminded me of you. But anyway, Dave gives us train facts. If you've never been here for Dave's train facts, I don't know where you've been under. Also, I have 666 concurrent viewers right now. So can I get 666 in the chat? Dave, take him away.
All right. So today's train fact comes from a railroad in Yucatan. I'm not even going to try and pronounce. Because the locomotives for the Yucatan Peninsula Narrow Gauge Railroad are bought by the Disney Corporation for the railroad in Walt Disney World, Florida. The Walt Disney World Railroad bought 4 of these locomotives. Yucatan number 260, Yucatan number 275, number 251, and 274. The oldest of these locomotives was number 251, being built in 1916, with the rest being built in mid-1920s. The neat bit about these locomotives is that they are, they've been backdated by Disney. They tried to make them look older than they are by putting fake diamond stacks and fake headlights on them. If you're in the Discord server, I will see if I can find the image I found the other night of the locomotives when they were in Mexico compared to what they were like in Florida today. Yeah, one neat thing about the fact about the Disney locomotives is they actually do not have any air braking systems, any air reservoir tanks on them. They were completely backdated, which means that they weren't supposed to have air braking. However, due to federal railroad regulations, you have to have air braking on your locomotive. So these locomotives cannot run engine light empty. They have to have a coach behind them because the coach has the air reservoir for the braking. That's a bit of a short fact today. It looks like Polly isn't back in his thing.
I am. I'm back, Dave. I'm back.
Oh, darn, sweet. Yeah. So I was on your stream. I've got like 3 things open right now. Your stream, a train game, and train photos.
I appreciate that. You dropped those train photos in the hobbies chat, right? I know people love to look at that in the Discord later.
Yeah, it's the Mexican engines that migrated to Florida.
Thank you so much, Hunter. And Hunter sent the train over there on TikTok too. Thank you so much, Hunter, for the train. I really appreciate that. That's huge. I appreciate that.
That's awesome.
All right, Dave. Well, thank you for giving the people a little commercial break while I took a quick break. So I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, man.
You have a good one. You have a good stream, man.
All right, you have a good one, man. Bye. Hunter, really thank you for that train. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Shadow, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. That was not for Dave, obviously. That was for the person before. And thanks so much. And Miguel, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm not putting that on the screen because that's not nice to say about people. So we're gonna move on to the next caller. I really appreciate you. Yo, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you'd like support, I have super chats and all that fun stuff. So I appreciate you. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. How old are you?
Oh man, I'm almost 100. Yeah, I'm in my 30s. I'm old enough.
Oh, okay. Well, awesome. Do you still support Trump?
To a degree, yes.
Awesome. Why is that?
All right. So here's my spirit about this whole ordeal. I'm a foundational Black American. So I'm glad you have, and I'm going to say, get into my point, but I want to thank you for allowing us to have a space to speak because YouTube has provided that now. Now, my thing with Trump is he's doing a lot of these deportations. A lot of these people happen to be so-called Latinos. I am a Black male traveling across the United States, decent background, all types of going to school, work, good, decent person, right? I've had a few incidents. I've been arrested, falsely accused. You know why? Because the cops that arrested me was Latino. Now, how many Black men across the United States have applied for jobs like being a cop, didn't get it? They have an EEOC program. You know about that DEI program? Well, there's other programs before DEI. So when these other groups of people come in the United States, have children, and then they apply for those jobs, they get those jobs. If we're traveling and I get accosted or harassed, didn't do nothing horrible, that cop didn't give me no pass, as one would say. But when there's 30 million illegals in the United States, they're allowing that to happen. But when it's us, and I'm not saying a cop shouldn't do his job or an employer shouldn't hire the best person, but it's kind of odd that even in the numbers, they're helping everybody else, and the people that's been in this country, our aunties, our grandmothers, paying taxes, helping people with our resources. We're always getting not as much other resources that they're giving to other communities. So thousands of so-called Black men don't go to China and complain about their educational school system. But those Asians will come to America because the immigration offices allowed them in the country. They wound up going to Harvard and complaining, not that they should be accepted, but they don't like that the tests are altered so Blacks can enter the school. So Trump is now promoting the immigration system should be better.
God, there's so much wrong with what you're saying, all in the one, like, Jesus Christ. I'm losing track. My brain can only keep up with so many things I have to address in one shot, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah, one, there's not 30 million undocumented immigrants in this country. Let's start there. Okay, that's an easy one. Second of all, none of those undocumented immigrants are police officers, so I don't know what you're talking about when it comes to that.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I'm not saying
Third
that
of
they're
all,
police officers. I'm not saying they're police officers.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm saying that
that's fine.
These people have children
That's
and
fine.
they're implemented into American society.
Okay.
There's 30, 40 million.
Hold on, sir.
illegals. Go ahead.
You said like
Go
9
ahead.
things. I'm trying to address all of them at one time. Okay.
I think it. Go ahead.
All right, cool.
My bad.
Third of all, okay, the programs that you're talking about that actually help you. Yeah, there's programs. So what you shouldn't be advocating is for the removing of Latino people. What you should be advocating for is the increase in programs that help Black Americans. And you don't need to remove one in order to create another one, right? On top of that, when you talk about things like changing of tests and all that sort of stuff that were allowing Black people to get into people like Harvard, you're correct. There was certain things like the removal of affirmative action by the Supreme Court. Those justices that took that away are conservative justices, just like Donald Trump put in. It wasn't liberal justices that ended programs that helped Black people get into schools like Harvard. It was literally conservative justices like the ones that Donald Trump put into the Supreme Court, right? So if you're complaining about those programs, you're just going to have them continue to strip while Donald Trump continually attacks things like the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, other things that actually do, foundationally help Black Americans in this country. He's literally going against those things. So I don't know what you're talking about. But if you think that for some reason that America is going to be more favorable from a social, a social standpoint or a social safety net standpoint toward Black people by getting rid of immigrants, then you do not have a clue how this works, dude.
I never said for them to get rid of immigration. I'm not talking like that. What I'm saying is they are using programs when gently those programs were meant for a group of people. When they came over here, like, for example, you have the incident in Minneapolis, if I'm pronouncing, I know I got to pronounce the state correct, but now they're doing that fraud stuff. Okay, I'm going to say that. Now I'm also saying this. You can have people that come over here, for example, you can have an African person. What they're doing is they're coming over here on that paperwork. They're putting African American. When those people created those guidelines, Caucasian, Latino, Asian, African American, their assumption of African American was the people that were already over here. What they got slick was when they come over here, they're not putting other, they're putting African American.
They
don't
are
care if he has an
literally
ac-
African Americans. Like that's literally like there is nobody more African American in this country than someone who came from Africa and became a citizen. It's in African American that they are
I
literally
dig it,
African
I dig it,
Americans.
but
Like
you know, in the 19,
literally.
I dig it, but you know, this is the point. This is why I have to take it talking in detail. In the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, when they were saying African American, they're talking about, i.e., us. They weren't talking about what's my man? Elon Musk is considered an African American, and that man is Caucasian. Is he not?
Yeah.
He could literally put on his paperwork African American because he was born on that continent.
That goes into
Right.
an entire different talk about how we shouldn't
But this
actually
is the-
use African
but this
American
is
to
what I'm
describe
talking
black.
about. At that point-
hold on, sir. That actually goes into like a really big point on why we should not use the term African American, and that's a really outdated term we shouldn't be using anymore. If you call me African American, I'm gonna immediately correct you because I'm not African American. I'm black, right? Period. Point fucking blank. I'm not fucking African American. I ain't
correct.
never been to
But
fucking
then if
Africa.
if you have a Jamaican person that comes to the United States and they get American and they have an anchor baby, he's gonna look at you talking about I'm black. And I'm not saying he's not
He is
black. What I'm saying is I'm not saying he's not. What I'm saying is on paper at that moment, those slots was meant for a group of people. So when they say African American, the way they made that slot, they're thinking of like, oh, you were here since like slavery. That's what that term meant. Now they're not putting other like, no, I'm Nigerian American. They're putting I'm African American. So both me and him show up, and he's not really from this country like that of his bloodline. He was just born out here, right?
What
They're like, oh, okay,
slots?
well, we fit the criteria because it's a criteria.
What
it's
slots?
a criteria. Say that again.
What slots are you talking about?
So, like, when you apply for government loans, government grants, programs, you know, sometimes it's saying, what's your name? What's your social security? Are you a male or female? Jobs as well, you know, Caucasian, Latino. Are you non-Latino? Are you Native, Indigenous American? Are you African American?
Sir, I know what the list
But-
says. What slots?
That's what I'm talking about, slot. That's pertaining my words. I'm trying to say that. That's what I mean when I say slot. Like, because, you know, when you go on the page, it has a slot like a Caucasian, African American. Like, that's what I meant.
Sir,
If I'm using the wrong word, then I apologize. But that's what I meant.
This is a crazy, sir. Like this. Literally, okay. It does not matter whether you're black, as in somebody whose family goes back to slavery, like chattel slavery in the United States, or you're black, as in you just came from Jamaica and now you're a naturalized U.S. citizen. Okay, that doesn't matter. Okay, and I'm gonna explain to you
And
why.
what do you mean it doesn't matter in what regards?
I'm
What is-
about to explain to you. Okay.
Go ahead.
Is that regardless of which one of those things you checked, you are less likely to get the government assistance or any of those jobs or any of those grants or get into any of those colleges. You are much less likely to get any of those slots over the white counterparts, right? And the programs that did adjust for that, right? The programs that did adjust for that for black people to be able to get into those spots, to get into those jobs, to get in those colleges, Donald Trump is ripping away. So now, okay, there are even less black people that are going to be getting into those jobs, getting into those grants, getting into those scholarships, and getting into those colleges, right?
But that's the point. That's the point. The immigration. Hold on.
No, it's not the immigration that's doing that.
Immigration.
No, it's
immigration allowed. So how do you? So there's
It's
not
not
over
the
40 million
immigration
illegals
that's
in the
doing
United
that.
States?
It's Donald Trump ripping away those programs to begin with.
Is there not 30 to 40 million illegals in the United States? What? Are you crazy?
Yeah, no, there's about 14 million. Okay, and of that 14
illegals,
yeah, and of that 14 million, the overwhelming majority are Hispanics and they're white.
But okay, so we're not talking about that. I mean, we're talking about illegals, but I'm saying on that they're not putting African American. But if you have a Dominican person that's Latino and he has the hue that looks like me, and he's saying, "Hey, I'm applying for this African American grant," he's putting African American. The people have been documenting this, and I do my research.
Undocumented people can't apply for federal grants.
So say that again. That they can't what?
Undocumented people cannot apply for federal grants.
So they can't apply for federal grants. So what's going on in Minneapolis where they're not supposed to, but they're doing it and they've been getting away with it?
Those
So what's
people
up with that
were
then?
applying for social grants, and they were U.S. citizens.
So why is ICE out there rounding them up?
They're not rounding up the people that were doing fraud. They're rounding up other people illegally.
But because they have to target that area because those people are doing that.
They don't have to target that.
That's
They're-
what I'm saying.
If they're targeting that people because people are doing that, they're not going to get any of the people doing it because all the people that were doing that are all American citizens. They're all U.S. citizens, but
So Island Omar, she's an American citizen.
yes, Ilhan
So-
Omar, the member of Congress.
Congress, yes.
Are you?
So
Is that
if there's documented reports, which like they have it online, this is a legit thing. They saying I guess she found out a loophole, got over here because she married her brother, did the paperwork, and they got her in the country.
First of all, that's bullshit. Second of all, sir,
Okay.
you can't be a member of Congress if you're not a U.S. citizen.
I didn't say she wasn't a U.S. citizen.
Yes,
what
you
I said
did.
is she wasn't born. She wasn't born in the United States. She came to the United States.
That's
did she
called
not?
a naturalized U.S. citizen.
So she
that
wasn't born in the United States.
Nope, you're a U.S. citizen under the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. You are
That 14th
naturalized.
Amendment. That 14th Amendment was meant for slaves.
Regardless of what it was meant for, sir, the Supreme Court
Oh,
has.
now it's regardless, man. You are. What black are you? Where are you from? Are you African or Caribbean?
Am I African or Caribbean, dude? I'm just black and American.
He don't want to say it. You're a foreigner. Hey, peace, yo.
I'm a foreigner. Technically, my genealogy does go back to foreigners, but that's because the white half of my family, of my side, actually were Irish immigrants about 3 generations ago. Sir, you're still on the phone. I don't know if you know this or not. You did not get a got you. Okay. I will let you guys know right now. Okay. If you think that you're going to have some type of superiority complex because you claim foundational black American saying that you were here since slavery, I truly, and I'm just being completely fucking honest with you, do not give a fuck. Okay. Here we are black Americans. And guess what? When people look at us and people look at black Americans in this country, okay, and black Americans get, overly charged for violent crimes. They're the most exonerated people in the United States because they are arrested for crimes that they don't commit more than any other people. Do you really think, okay, that the systemic racism that exists within the United States gives a fuck whether your genealogy goes back to slavery or not? Because it doesn't. Okay. It is a class war more than anything else between rich and poor people. Okay. And if your family came from Jamaica or your family was here since or brought over, from slave times or anything in between that. Okay. If you're a Dominican that came over here that has black skin, because guess what? Just to be completely honest, just to let everybody know that also, right? Black people in those countries that are darker skinned from those countries, they're also treated different and subjugated against in those countries, all right, for being black, all right? I don't have time to fight, all right, with other black people, okay, about how everybody else is treating us bad, and I'm sure as hell not going to blame other black people, okay, for the subjugation that we're like, that is experienced in the United States. It's just not. I'm not going to fucking do it, all right? I think it's absurd, all right? I feel sorry for this guy. But he's the type of this is one of those Candace Owens fools that MAGA loves to cling on to and be like, see, he's on her side. Yeah, it's just people trying to punch down. It's just people trying to punch down, and I hate people that try to punch down. Really, really sad.
Hello.
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 Hi, how old are you?
I am 36.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
No, I actually wanted to speak on the last caller. You could tell he was like a black guy. I just wanted to say something, and then I'll let you finish your live.
All right, you got about 30 seconds. Go.
Okay. I just wanted to say, like, a lot of African-American Trump supporters, especially men, they sound ridiculous. They sound just like the last caller. Everything he was saying just didn't make any sense. You could tell he didn't do any research or anything like that. And I want to say, you are amazing. Me and my best friend watch you all the time, and just keep doing what you're doing, okay?
Thank you so much. I actually loved those comments. That was beautiful. Can we get W's in the chat for a caller that is absolutely beautiful? Like I don't want to be quiet. I knew she was about to say something good. All right, I knew she was about to say something good. And you have an awesome day, and I really appreciate the support. Okay, thank you so much.
You too. Bye bye.
I don't want to be quiet. Shoot, Shadow, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, I like how you kept my zero brain cell car message through the African American guy. I didn't realize I did that, Shadow. I didn't realize I did that. I didn't even realize I did that. That's the sad part. Y'all, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate you guys. Hello, how are you?
What's up? I'm good.
By the way, real quick. Hey, Shane, thank you so much. I saw you hit those happy hats too. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hi, how old are you?
I'm 36.
You said 36?
Yeah, how old you?
I'm 39.
Okay. Who you think the greatest president of your lifetime is?
Greatest president of my lifetime?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's going to be Obama. That's a pretty easy one.
Obama?
Yeah.
You mean the guy that got in office as soon as the first thing he did was change the gay law? That dude?
Like, what do you mean? Like the gay marriage laws? Is that what you're talking about?
What was Obama's first thing he did when he got in the law?
Sir, I'll be completely. I'll be straight up with you.
First thing Trump did?
I'll be straight up with you. Okay, sir. When we talk about like the greatest president of my lifetime, all right, which starts in 1986 is when I was born. Okay, there's not a lot of good choices, and I just thought I'd throw that out there. Okay, you have Reagan who killed the middle class, right? You have George H.W. Bush who put us in a whole bunch of wars. You have Bill Clinton who, well, even though he had a very balanced budget, is a fucking creep. Like, let's fucking be honest with you. You had George H.W. Bush, who, again, back with the wars and really just a bumbling idiot. You have Obama, okay, who had actually a very, very, excellent fucking, domestic policy. Some foreign policy that I wasn't always the biggest fan of, but some excellent domestic policy, especially things like the Affordable Care Act, and doing excellent economic policies. Then you had Trump, the freaking idiot. Then you had Biden, the geriatric, and then you have Trump, the fascist. So really, in my lifetime, there's not a lot of good choices. So Obama kind of wins pretty easily by default. Okay. Like, just being honest with you.
Did Obama do the things that he campaigned on like Trump did?
Trump didn't do the things he campaigned on.
Trump? What you mean he didn't do the things he campaigned on? He said he was going after immigration. He went after immigration. He said he was going after energy prices. He got our energy prices down. Gas is going down.
Sir, he said he was going to bring gas down. Sir, I'm trying to explain it to you, sir. Sir, I can only answer that question if you're quiet long enough for me to do it. You've asked me 3 times, what is he not doing? I've tried 3 times to answer it, and you have not been quiet long enough in order for me to do it.
I'm listening.
All right. I appreciate it. So, first of all, gas prices are not a presidential stat. We have barely, we're pretty much even on our gas prices from this time last year. I think there's a slight reduction just at this point, right? But over the large course of his time, our gas prices have been higher, and that's not really a thing with him or anybody else. It's just that gas prices aren't generally a presidential stat, right? Unless there's some huge sweeping policy in which creates that, which Donald Trump has not done, right? I am still talking.
How about no drilling?
I am still talking. Are you okay to be quiet now?
I'm listening.
All right. The only time the gas prices did start to go down is when it started to get cold. And we always see that during cold weather, especially during the winter months, gas prices just go down naturally. They did it last year. They did it the year before that. They did it the year before that. All right. So until we actually see something that's actually, concrete that Donald Trump has actually done for gas prices, he doesn't get any credit for doing that, especially since he's had more time at gas prices that were higher than when he took office than lower. Second of all, he ran on ending the war between Ukraine and Russia within 24 hours of being president-elect. That thing is still going on very clearly. He also said he was going to, drill, baby, drill, and we're going to produce all this extra oil. We really haven't whatsoever, which was really hard to do considering that, we had, a record high, drilling last year, like greater than Saudi Arabia. He said he was going to end the war between Israel and Palestine within 24 hours. He also hasn't done that. He said grocery prices were going to go down. Grocery prices are higher. He said he was going to stop inflation. Things are 3% higher than they were at this time last year. Consumer prices are going up. He said he was going to bring in, all of this money for revenue. He hasn't done that. He said we were going to get a DOGE check. That hasn't happened. He said we were going to get tariffs. That wasn't going to happen. He said he was going to be the president of peace, and he wasn't going. He said he wasn't going to. No, sir. There's just a lot of things he campaigned on that he hasn't done.
Campaign on 3 or 4 of those things.
He did, sir.
You just saying
he
stuff
did.
now, bro.
He did. He also said he wasn't going to put us in any more of these endless wars, and we're literally going back to wars on weapons of mass destruction and freaking regime change.
No, what war are we in?
What war are we in?
A bunch of stuff. Yeah, you just said he said.
Well, technically, when was the last time we were at war?
Can you just answer my question? What war are we in?
We're not in a war. When was the last? We're not in. Yeah. When was the last? Sir, when was the last time we were in war?
The statement you just said was false.
Sir, sir. When was the last time we were at war?
I don't know the exact date, but it was when we was in Iraq.
It was 1945.
You want to go by technical terms. When was the last time we had boots on the ground in another country and invade? That was Iraq or Afghanistan, whichever one it was. That was the last time we was at war.
Yeah, didn't we just have a couple American troops killed on the ground like a couple weeks ago?
Where?
I don't even remember. Where was that? We literally just had freaking a couple troops killed
Bro,
somewhere just recently.
You and I both know what war is. Like, we're not about to sit here and act like we don't know what war
It was in
is.
Syria, wasn't it? Yeah, it was in Syria. Yeah, we had literal American troops killed in Syria like last week.
You just made a statement and said Donald Trump started a war.
I did not say that.
You said, okay, but you alluded to that. You said Donald
No, I
Trump
didn't. I said Donald Trump said he was going to stop doing endless wars. That's what I said that he said.
And what was the next statement?
I didn't get to a next statement, sir. You cut me off and started yelling.
That's cap.
All right, then what did I say? What was my
That's
next statement?
cap.
Maybe I forgot.
You went to allude to saying that he's potentially about to have us in war. That's what you were about to say.
And what war did I allude to him possibly,
That's
having us
what I'm
in?
trying to figure out.
I don't know. Apparently you're telling me what I said because I don't remember saying that.
Why would you say that? Why would you say Donald Trump campaigned on not putting us in war if he hadn't put us in a war? Why would you even say that?
Because we are attacking military targets with our military, and I consider that war.
Okay, that's not war.
Okay, well, then the correct definition of war is when Congress declares war. Which in that case, Donald Trump said he was going to end endless wars, and there was no endless war for him to end because apparently Afghanistan wasn't a war, Iraqi freedom wasn't a war, Desert War wasn't a war, First Gulf War wasn't a war, Vietnam wasn't a war. Like, all of these things weren't wars, okay, if we're going by that definition. But since Donald Trump has been in office,
fighting against each other. They shoot at us, we shoot at them. That's a war in my eyes.
Perfect. So Donald Trump, since he's been in office, has attacked Iran nuclear sites. He's currently attacking targets in Nigeria, and he's literally has a blockade with apparently our armada outside of Venezuela. And his chief of staff says that we're trying to do regime change in there. He's also threatened. He's also said that he is not taking ground war out of the equation when it comes to that.
And let me say this: I don't.
Not to mention the troops we have in Syria, like I said, that were just killed.
The difference between the MAGA people and the other y'all Democrats, we could say when we don't agree with Trump on something. Y'all like the Iran. A bunch of MAGA people said they didn't agree with what he did to Iran, even though I might just don't understand the depths of what's going on. He said they had nuclear weapons, and he stopped it. That was his excuse. I don't agree with that. I don't think we should be bombing nobody thousands that's way across. I don't really care about that. What has Trump done to make our life? Because everybody's acting like everything is worse under Trump. The worst he's been was under Biden, and he's making everything better now. So I'm trying to figure out what is the
Well,
issue.
sir, if you hadn't hyper concentrated on the word war,
And you just said inflation is up. Inflation is not up.
it is.
The numbers just came out. Inflation is down.
Inflation is not down.
Oh my God. So inflation is not down.
No.
Sir, the numbers just came out.
What's the numbers?
GDP, all these numbers just
What's the number
I don't
then, sir?
remember. It's less than what it was.
It's 2.7%. What does 2.7% mean?
What does it mean?
It means that inflation, that is the inflation rate That means that things are 2.7% on average more expensive than they were a year ago.
So you telling me what was inflation under Biden around this time last year?
About 3%.
Is 2.7% higher or less than 3%?
Sir. That's not bringing down inflation. That's bringing
That's
down
not what I asked
listen. Okay. That's not bringing down inflation. Okay. Or deflation, as we would call it. Okay. That's lowering the inflation rate. That means things are getting more expensive at a certain rate. Okay. Donald Trump said, I have ended inflation. That is what he said. He said, I have ended inflation. What he ran on is that I am going to lower your grocery prices. Lower. If things are 2.7% more expensive than they were last year, are things lower or higher?
It depends on where you at.
There is not a depending on anything, sir. If things are 2.7% more expensive than they were a year ago, are things more expensive or less expensive?
Inflation is steady every year.
That's not what I asked. We're talking about what Donald Trump ran on, sir. Donald Trump ran on lowering prices. Prices are not lower, sir. Sir, prices are not lower. They are higher.
Do you have kids? Do you have kids?
I do.
Okay, if you sent your kids to go live with somebody, no matter how good you raised them, if you sent somebody to go live with your kids for 4 years and they was able to do whatever they wanted to do, like under the Biden administration, everything is a chaos in their life. How long do you think it's going to take them, once you get those kids back, how long do you think it's going to take them to get them back on the right game plan?
Well, first of all, I'm a good father. I would never do that, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Come on,
and your hypothetical doesn't really make any sense, to be completely honest with you.
Because the point is,
sir, do you believe affordability is a hoax?
Biden had 4 years to ruin everything. This man been in office.
Please stop whining about Biden, sir. Donald Trump has been president for a year now. You can stop whining about Biden. You can stop whining about Biden, sir. Sir, I understand that Biden lives rent free in your head, sir. Sir, I understand that Biden lives rent free in your head. Okay, can we concentrate on what the president is doing right now? Do you believe affordability is a hoax, sir?
We can.
Sir, do you believe, sir, I asked you a question. I'm not going to ask it again. I'll hang up if you can't answer.
No, you're going to hang up because you don't want to have this argument.
No, because I'm trying to ask you a question and you're just whining and it's annoying.
What is it?
Is affordability a hoax?
No, affordability is not a hoax.
Oh, okay.
The word affordability?
Yeah.
What do you mean is it a hoax?
Oh, I'm just saying it's like affordability. I'm just wondering if making things, because Donald Trump said he was going to make things more affordable, and now he's saying that affordability is a hoax. It's just weird.
He has made my gas more affordable.
Okay, how has he done that?
Which?
How has he done that?
Sure, with the deals he's been making with the come on, man, stop acting like you don't know what's going on.
That was not a sentence in any way. That was not an English sentence or any type of words. I asked you a question, sir. How did he make your gas prices cheaper?
With his policies that he's put into place. Everything he's put into place.
No, which policy?
We're getting more energy right here. We drilling more. We started to do everything back at home. He's making deals with the Saudi Arabians. We getting up. Listen, you can't. You could.
None of those things are true, sir.
Regardless, prices was stupid high under Biden. Trump got in office. He said he's bringing
and they're still stupid high.
Well, gas is $1.99 by my house. Where do you live at? I guarantee.
Where do you live at? The gas is $1.99.
Houston, Texas. I can go.
Gas is not $1.99 in Houston, Texas.
Man,
that is horseshit. Gas prices in Houston, Texas. I'm just curious.
The cheapest. This place is cheaper than by my house. This is not even the cheapest.
Let's take a look. Fuel prices.
Yeah, you take a look.
Yeah, you're not even close to being honest.
So you tell us how long? So you're telling me that I'm lying about what the gas is?
Yes, because the cheapest gas in all of Texas is still over $2.
Okay, dude, I'm not gonna argue. You're telling me about something. I'm looking.
What county is Houston in?
Harris.
What county is Houston in?
Harris County.
Harris County? Isn't Houston over here someplace? Oh, there's Houston. $2.55 a gallon.
Sir. I wish I could share my skin, but our gas is not $2.55. In the suburbs, like Katy, is $2.55. Where I stay at in the inner city, gas is cheap, $2, no more than $2.15.
Oh yes, because that's what we know. We do always know that the further into a city you are, the cheaper gas gets. That's pretty common.
Yeah, so you talking about $2.55? That's like the suburb areas. The inner city's gas is dirt cheap right now, and that is because of Donald Trump's policy. And you're not gonna tell me nothing different.
That's what we know. We it's very, very common
And
to things
guess
to be
what? With the gas
cheaper
being prices,
in the middle of a
how is
city
our-
than it is in
how
the
is our
suburbs.
grocery-
That's just
how is our grocery
that's just
delivery?
correct.
Where you at? California or something? Where you from?
I'm from California. I live in Florida.
Oh my God, you from California, bro? Y'all got the worst policies in the world.
Like which
if
one?
Anybody want to see? If anybody want to see what
Which one?
happens to when you have the worst
Sir.
policies in the world, look at
Yeah.
California. All they people is moving to Texas and Miami. Red
That's
state.
actually not true.
And he said, "Oh my God, dude, you know how many people is living from?"
Oh yeah, sir.
California
That
right
actually
now?
is there. It actually is true.
Why
There,
is they
sir.
moving
Listen, sir. Be quiet. There actually are quite a few people that are leaving California and moving to
Including-
Texas and Florida. The problem with your statement, sir, is that there's also a shit ton of people moving to California, where it's almost even. Their population isn't even really dropping. Like it's like the same population. The problem really is that more rich people are moving to California and more poor people are leaving. That's really what's happening, and that's because California is such an awesome place to fucking be that a bunch of rich people
I
want to live
love
there. Right?
California as far as the landscape, but I don't love the
Yeah.
policies.
Which
They're
policy do you not
stupid.
like?
I love Donald Trump and these
Which
Republican
policy in
policies. You know
California do
why?
you not like, sir?
The tax on gasoline.
The tax on gasoline. Well, I can understand why somebody wouldn't like that. Unfortunately, that's the reason.
That's why our gas is
Sir,
$2
sir,
and
stop yelling.
My bad, bro.
Thank you.
My bad.
The reason why the taxes, including taxes on gasoline and stuff like that, are so much higher in places like California is
I
because
don't
they're
get to argue with people about this type of stuff.
yeah, well, you don't have to holler in order to do it, sir. You can literally just talk. Okay, thank you. But what I'm saying is, yes, they do have higher taxes, and because they have higher taxes, they have better social safety nets, and so that people are able to actually live better lives in California. See, when you don't have as many taxes, you're right, you do get to keep a little bit more money in your pocket, but
Living a better
it's not the way
life.
it works. Yeah, you actually freaking can have
In
like better
California?
safety nets. You have things like Medi-Cal, Medicaid, which are actually much better. You have better things for homeless people. You have better things for freaking drug addicts. You have better things for all sorts of people in
y'all
California.
got the-
And that's why they love it so much. That's why people in California love California so much, because it is actually hopeful for them. Okay. And if you don't, sir, if you don't want to have your tax dollars going to something that matters, okay, then I advise you stay in Texas. I
Those
think
are
that that's a great thing to do. But the people that actually live
are
in, sir, the people that actually live in California love California. It's always people that aren't from California that bitch about how fucking bad California is. And I just want to let you know that
'cause I keep
from,
so
sir, I
tired
would
of
just like to
seeing-
let you know, sir, I would just like to let you know
tired
as a,
of seeing
sir,
y'all
be
move
quiet,
here.
sir,
That's why. If
sir. All right, I'm muting you. Sir, and what I will tell you this, okay, is as a Californian, okay, we highly, highly respect your decision to stay the fuck out of our state, okay? We don't want you there either. You don't want to be there, and we don't fucking want you there, okay? So stay in your shithole state, okay? And us, people from California will enjoy the hell out of our state, all right, without you there. If you don't like it, you don't have to go there. I'll give you an example, sir. I can't stand fucking Texas. I think freaking your governor is a racist, bigoted piece of shit, right? And I think that your legislator is your legislation is absolutely fucking horrible as they try to freaking gerrymander their entire state to make sure Democrats don't have a vote in there. So that's why I would never move to your shithole state, okay? I would never, ever live, okay, in your shithole state, all right? So I will stay out of your state, right? And you go ahead and stay out of mine. Sound good?
You don't want to have a conversation, I see. You just want to. California, you just said Texas got a problem with gerrymandering.
Yeah.
I can't hear you. California is worse than Texas on representation. How many people voted for Donald Trump? How many Republicans voted for Donald Trump in California?
I'm not sure.
Almost 50%.
That's not
What
true.
is they represent? Okay. What is
That's
they
not even
represent
fucking close to true.
like-
That's not
Hold on,
even.
look
That's
up-
not even the
look up and
ballpark
tell
of
me
true.
what's the
Yeah,
numbers. Can you
that's
look
not
it
even
up
the
and tell me
ballpark of
what's the
true.
numbers?
Sure.
Can you look up and tell me what's the numbers?
Sure.
I don't know. You're right. I don't know. What is it? They got the worst representation in any other state. You don't even know what you're talking about. You talking about Texas?
They actually don't. They actually have an
racist.
independent commission that actually specifically was made to make sure the Republicans have
happened?
representation in there.
And what they just agreed on.
Oh, they agreed to freaking combat Texas's gerrymandering.
How have they come back something they've been doing forever?
You do realize that that's exactly how that worked, right? Texas tried to gerrymander Texas tried to gerrymander all the Democratic seats out of there, and California did it to combat them.
Did you look it up? How many people voted for?
Yeah, it's less than 40%.
So that's
It was like
okay, that's a lot of
38%.
people. And what is their representation in California?
What do you mean
It's
their
super
representation?
in Congress, they elect or whatever, they elect toward the people that matter.
How many Republican congressmen are there in California?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably like 5 or 6.
It doesn't add up with the representation that the people that voted for Republicans. That's my
Yeah,
point.
that doesn't add up in any
And then
state,
you
sir.
talking about Obama was the greatest. This man gave y'all Obamacare. It was the Affordable Care Act, and nothing was affordable about it.
Actually, it provided healthcare for like 20 million people. Affordable healthcare for like 20 million people. I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
How many people is in America?
Let's see.
You talking about 20 million people?
I'm
and
so
How many people in America?
sorry. I'm looking for someone.
20 million people is like, come on, bro. You messed up our whole healthcare system for 20 million people.
Yeah, that's actually what's really funny here. Actually, it's really funny here, and I want to throw this up on the screen because I told you that 38% of Californians voted for Trump, and 42% of Texans voted for Harris.
Okay.
Yeah, 42%. That's pretty wild.
What does that mean?
Just saying, if you want to talk about gerrymandering and who allows for representation, that's pretty funny.
No, we got a lot of independents. Texas is full of independents. You looking at one. You talking
Let's
to
see.
one.
Let's see. There are 9 Republicans from California in the U.S. House of Representatives.
And how many is in Texas?
Let's see.
Way more.
Texas Democrats are in the House of
Way
Representatives.
more. That's what I'm telling you. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Let's see. Let's take a look. Why do I not see this number?
No, you see it.
No, I truly don't.
How many Democrats is in the Texas representative, whatever it is?
Oh no, I'm looking at the Federal House of Representatives. Let's see. I'm curious.
Me too.
12.
Okay. So that sounds way more fair than what y'all got going
No,
on.
it sounds representative. Like I said, 38% of Californians voted for Republicans, so they have 9. 52% of Texas voted for, or 42% of Texas voted for Kamala Harris, so they have 12.
But look at the percentage-wise for those couple votes.
That's literally what you call even.
So how can you say we're gerrymandering? If we vote
Because the
doing same thing,
gerrymandering
why
doesn't
is
take
it-
effect until next year's election.
All right, let me ask you this: is gerrymandering wrong?
Personally, yeah. It's not
So
illegal.
that means you
I do
don't-
find it wrong though.
But do you? So that means regardless if California doing it, what's their reason for doing it? Just the fact that they're doing it, they're wrong too, right?
Oh, I mean, that's like
Because
saying, that's
something
like,
wrong with
sir,
your
sir,
eyes.
like that's like saying, is killing wrong?
It depends.
If is killing wrong, if you kill an innocent person, is that wrong?
Yes.
All right, if I kill
100%.
you trying to kill an innocent person, is that wrong?
Yeah, but that's two totally different things.
No, that's exactly the
not-
same thing, right, sir?
No,
So
that's not.
so
No, that's
so what
Because
Texas
killing
is
is-
doing,
no, because
sir?
you just-
What,
no,
sir? What,
because you
sir?
just said
Sir?
that
Sir?
gerrymandering
Sir?
is not
I'm in the middle of a
illegal.
point here. Thank you. I'm in the middle of a point, sirs. Yeah. So Texas was the one gerrymandering, doing things anti-democratic to try to silence people's voices. Okay. California did that to stop them. Okay. It was a defensive measure, right? It wasn't an offensive measure. Texas was offensive. California was defensive. And if Texas had never done theirs, then California wouldn't have had to do theirs. That's how that works.
Yes or no?
Is Obamacare a failure? No,
Yes. How is Obamacare not a failure?
because it provided 20 million people with health care.
And what did it do to the whole healthcare system, though? So if I did something that only fed a small percent or something that affected a small proportion of my family, but it negatively affected everybody else.
How did it negatively affect everyone else?
Because their prices are through the roof.
Actually,
why do we have to? Why do we need?
Sir,
why do they have
what
to
do you mean,
subsidize
sir?
it?
You don't have to get Obamacare. If their prices are through the roof, you can just get other health care. So how does that affect somebody
They
else?
messed up the whole healthcare landscape,
Sir,
Obamacare messed up the whole healthcare landscape.
Sir, if you don't like Obamacare, you don't have to get it.
No, for real.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a problem with Obamacare. It's a private. So you saying Obamacare is not affecting the people that?
Of course,
don't
everything
have
affects
Obamacare.
everything, sir. And is Obama,
okay
sir?
then.
Listen,
So
look, no,
don't say
sir,
don't
sir,
get
sir,
it.
sir, sir, sir,
I don't
sir,
have
sir,
to get
sir.
it for it to
My
affect me.
answer, sir. My answers are not yes or no. So please don't start rambling as I like after I say one word. Okay. Is ACA perfect? Absolutely not. Because is there a lot better ways that we could do healthcare in this in the United States? 100%. We really should be going for like a Medicare for all, or like a universal healthcare system, some type of single payer healthcare system. That would be a much better, more superior. It'd be a much better, superior system, right? Did the ACA do good things? Absolutely, it did. But it was only a drop in the water, right? And I think that the Obamacare was not supposed to be something that was a forever thing. It was supposed to be a starting point for us to be able to move forward and actually create a better system. And it was a starting point, right? And like people like Donald Trump have specifically said, over, that he was going to replace it and replace it with something better, but he can't find anything better. And that should show you something right there, right? That Donald Trump, since he was first elected, right, in 2016, he said he was going to replace the ACA, and he has not been able to find a system that works within our United States system that's better. But what it does do, okay, is it allows people like prior to that, people that, that wouldn't get it, but weren't able to have insurance, due to things like pre-existing conditions or age or anything like that, they weren't able to get healthcare, and now those people can get healthcare, okay, at an affordable cost, right? When they couldn't do that before, right? And is that going to have some type of ripple effects on other things? Yeah, of course it is, sir. That's why we should progress the system, sir. And I still await Donald Trump. Okay, I still await Donald Trump coming up with a better plan, but so far I've only come up with concepts of a plan. I don't have a plan. I have concepts of a plan. I said my concepts of a plan to someone, and they were like, "Wow, that's the best concepts of a plan."
Bro, you just be talking, bro.
That's
You just
pretty rich
talking,
coming
bro.
from you, sir.
You just talking because everybody
That's
knows.
pretty rich coming
let me
from
ask
you.
This. Why do they have to subsidize these? Why do they have to subsidize?
Because the subsidies are what allow people's premiums to stay low.
Allows which people premium to stay low?
The people that are on the ACA.
Okay, so what about, and who's paying for that?
The taxpayer.
And what's happening to everybody else's health care? They're paying more because of these ACA or whatever you want to call it. Dude, what are you talking
Why are
about?
under what contract are you saying they're paying more due to ACA subsidies?
Dude, the people that if the insurance companies are charging the other people more that don't have the ACA.
And where are you showing proof of that?
Man, I don't. Come on, bro. You just
No, truly. Like, I mean, if you want to prove that to me that somehow that's happening, I would love to see it.
come on, bro. You can go look at the thousands. Why they keep saying that these people? Why they? Let me ask you this: why they keep saying that they don't do something to the Obama health care? These people's premiums going to go up 1,200%. Why?
What?
What happens if? What happens? Did they just renew the subsidies in the Obamacare?
No.
So what's going to happen to those people with Obamacare?
A lot of them are going to lose their health care. Yeah. A lot of people are going to see huge spikes. Their premiums are going to go up, significantly. I think it's like on average, like 120 or 140%. Yeah. It's going to be a lot higher.
Democrats. Okay. Why did the Democrats put a date on those subsidies? Why didn't they just?
Oh, because they're stupid.
Out the gate. Oh, okay. Well, as long as we agree on that, okay, so we can agree. They stupid, and it is a failure.
Yeah, they were. It's
Because
not.
it needs
No,
to-
sir.
okay.
Just
We
because
right.
just because they were stupid by putting a timeline on it doesn't mean that it is a failure, right? And again, sir, if your president, the person that you support, has a better option, okay, for replacing the ACA, I am all ears. I am here to listen, sir. Okay, I'm here to listen. All right. If Donald Trump says,
Obamacare
if
was a
Donald
failure.
Trump has a replacement for the ACA, where all of these millions of people are not going to lose their health care, where people's premiums aren't going to spike through the roof, where people with pre-existing conditions aren't going to get denied due to disease or due to age or due to all of these things, if people with disabilities are going to be able to actually have affordable health care, if people that are younger are now going to be able to afford health care, if he has another plan that is going to do all the things the ACA did but better, right? Well, also improving our healthcare system, then I am 1,000% for it,
well,
sir.
okay, we can
But
agree to
again,
that.
but again, sir,
can agree
but
Obamacare
again,
was a
sir,
failure then.
but again, sir, your president has come up with
president
fucking nothing, dude. He's come up with
That's not
absolutely
true.
no. He's come up with nothing. Okay, nothing.
Hold on. Let's
Nothing.
not act
He's
like
been
every
saying
time-
he's going to
Look how
replace it
long
since
took him to get the big,
2016.
beautiful bill passed.
2016,
Everything
sir.
Trump try to do, he gotta
2016.
fight
We are
tooth and nail
closing
to get
in,
it
sir.
done.
We are closing in on a full decade of Donald Trump saying he's going to replace this thing, and he has zero, no plan, not even a concept of a plan. He has nothing.
Yes, he do. He want to give the money to the people and let them choose their own health care. Yes, he do. Stop lying.
He wants to give certain people a little bit of amount of money, which only
You just
covers
said he don't
exterior
even have a
costs
concept.
and not the actual
But you
cost
just
of
said
the
he don't
healthcare,
even
sir.
have a-
And not
you
the
just
actual
said he
cost of
don't
the
even have a
healthcare, sir.
concept.
And not the actual cost of the healthcare.
You
And
just said
that,
he don't even
sir,
have a
and
concept.
that, sir,
was a lie.
sir, and
Just
that
tell the truth.
will
That's all.
have
Just tell
healthcare
the
premiums
truth.
go through the roof, sir. And that
Let's just
will
deal
have
with facts.
healthcare. Yeah, the medical savings plan will have healthcare premiums go through the roof.
Let's just deal
You
with
want
facts. So
to,
you
you
just
want
said
to,
he
you
didn't
want
even have
to,
a
you want to
concept.
see,
He
you want to
do.
see healthcare premiums go through the roof. That's how you do it.
No. So let's talk about these illegal
Yeah.
immigrants. You for deporting these illegals?
People aren't illegal, sir.
People not illegal. So if I break in your house, am I illegal?
No.
So I can just break in your house and come to your house
No.
and I won't be illegal.
You won't be illegal, no.
Stop it. You about the only person in the world that would say that.
Well, then I guess I'm the only, intelligent person in the world.
Well, so that means you don't respect law.
I do respect laws.
You just said no, you don't. If you just said they're not illegal, and if by definition they
People,
are illegal, you saying you
no.
don't respect that.
People are not illegal. Actions are illegal. Okay?
They can
If
be
you
over
break,
here illegally.
sir, if you break into my house, you are not illegal. The act that you did is illegal. The breaking and entering is illegal. You are not illegal. Okay? So
They over
people
here
are not illegal.
illegally.
People are over here undocumented. Okay?
Illegally.
Sir, illegally? Is it illegal to be in this country without documentation?
Yes.
Under what law?
I don't know the specific law.
Because it doesn't
but
exist,
it's
sir.
illegal.
Because it doesn't exist.
Man, so you telling me that anybody can just come over here undocumented and it's
No.
not a crime?
No, absolutely not. It's actually a civil offense to be in the United States and
So
without
it's not a federal
documentation.
crime.
No,
not a federal
it's a
crime?
civil offense to be in the country. Okay, it is a crime to
It is a
cross the
federal
border
crime.
illegally. That is true. That
Well,
is
what are you talking about?
that is a misdemeanor.
So, but is it a crime? Do you go to jail for misdemeanors in the United States?
Generally, no. I think you can though, in certain
Bro,
circumstances.
you literally don't know what you're talking about. How do you not go to jail for misdemeanors?
How do you not go to jail
You
for
literally
misdemeanor?
go to jail-
Sir,
you literally go to jail
jaywalking
for
is a
traffic
misdemeanor.
violations.
Sir,
Exactly. You can go to jail for jaywalking.
but do you
crazy man.
generally?
No, it's not. Do
And
you
that's
generally.
what I
Can
said,
you?
sir. I said generally no, but it can happen.
But I know people that have generally went to jail for jaywalking. I've been in jail. with
You
people
know
who
somebody
people
who's
that
been
was
to
in there for
jail for jaywalking. I would love to see that, sir.
I have been in jail with people who was in there for jail.
Fucking dude, I'm doing some hard time over here. I'm doing some hard time.
No.
Bro, what are you in for? Murder.
It
What are
wasn't
you
hard
in for?
time.
Fucking
I'm talking
larceny.
about
What are
his
you in for,
process.
bro? Oh, jaywalking. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Man, y'all better stay away from that guy. He's been out there fucking jaywalking, bro. Like he's the toughest guy in the prison. I'm gonna have to go up to that jaywalker first day in, make sure that I assert dominance as soon as I get into prison.
The law,
you
are
know.
illegal, and guess what? I've seen what illegals do. I'm from, like I just told you, I'm from Houston, Texas. I grew up on the north side. When I was growing up, it was 4